Hey, friends. My guest today is a family man, bearded guy, American military veteran, and all-around positive dude. Every time I hang out with him, we have great conversations, and today was no exception. This episode is kind of separated into 3 parts, with the first hour dedicated to talk about selling popsicles, watching movies, actors we think may or may not be cool, and Halloween costumes. The second hour is a collection of stories from when Jesse joined the military and went through basic training. Then in the third hour, we get political and discuss the Constitution, free speech, the Electoral College, and generally how to not be an asshole. He is a bright, intelligent, handsome young man, and I am proud to call him my friend. I love this guy. His name is Jesse Byron. I was hanging out with a buddy of mine today, and we were talking about, do you know the history of T-shirts?
Yeah, I do.
Do you really?
Yeah, they were shirts, and then they cut the sleeves off them for comfort.
Yeah, that.
No, I don't know the history of T-shirts, no.
It's pretty crazy because, like, you see them now on everybody. Everybody just wears them constantly. You know, it doesn't matter what economic group you're in, what job you have. I mean, they're casual. They're also, they can be fancy and nice in some ways.
Yeah.
But what happened is it was right around the turn of the century, right around 1900, and they used to issue basically onesies for the Navy.
Right.
And it was just supposed to be worn as like an undergarment.
Kind of like the Mormon clothes, undergarments or whatever they're called.
Sure. And because there were times where you were too hot, people started cutting them off. And so then you would just lose the bottoms and you'd have the top.
Okay.
And it never really...
So they're Donald Ducking it? Like no chonies?
Exactly, they were. Donald Ducking it. Yeah. And so people didn't really... I mean, it was still an undergarment. And then up through World War I and World War II, World War II is when they started taking off the top and just wearing the T-shirts.
Right.
And then it still didn't even become a part of popular culture until James Dean and Marlon Brando.
Right.
And they made...
Had to have some young, rebellious people
exactly.
to show people.
That's what it was associated with.
Yeah.
Brando wore it in A Streetcar Named Desire, and then James Dean wore it in...
Rebel Without a Cause. Yeah.
Exactly. And they were seen as like counterculture, rebellious individuals, and then it just went from there.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's crazy because it's only been a thing for like 100 years, and now you've got graphics and you can make your own on the internet.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. The history of everything is pretty weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I thinking about with T-shirts? But I used to like to make my own T-shirts all the time. Some friends of mine from high school. Well, you could say their names, I guess. They're talking about T-shirts, but like Matt Lincoln and me used to always make T-shirts, and we would just take like the funniest, like most obscure things and put them on T-shirts. Like we loved The Simpsons. That was like our favorite show. So like you could find a T-shirt with Bart Simpson being like, "Don't have a cow, man," you know, and be like, "Well, that's not the T-shirt I want. I want a T-shirt with Gil, the guy from what's that movie?"
Gil?
Yeah, Gil, the character Gil from Simpsons. He's the failed salesman.
Okay.
He's from Glenn Ross.
Okay.
He's like a direct ripoff of Jack Lemmon's character in that movie.
Okay.
And he's just a hilarious character in Simpsons. And he's like, so we would make T-shirts of Duff Man and like Gil and Millhouse.
In the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just things that you would never be able to buy.
Yeah.
And
you never ran into like copyright issues or anything?
Who would? I mean, like, we didn't like sell them. They were just for us.
Yeah.
I would, if we were selling them, I'm sure probably we would have, but you know, like nobody's gonna. My mom's not gonna be like, you know, you should probably not wear that for copyright reasons.
Yeah.
My mom was doing aerobics class.
She was busy with aerobics.
Yeah,
you were making T-shirts.
Doing something else.
Yeah, she couldn't pay attention. You were just out there hawking T-shirts. Making dollars.
We were not gonna. We weren't making anything. In fact, we were just like buying like Hanes undershirts and like screen, iron-on stuff that we printed off my printer.
Nice.
So they were pretty ghetto. You could only wear them like 4 or 5 times before they were completely worn out.
Yeah.
But
do you still have any of them?
oh no,
No.
Plus, they would fit like my hand.
Yeah.
I am so much fatter than I was.
We've all grown.
Yeah. Unfortunately, true.
Well, that makes me think of when I was a kid, we used to do, instead of like the classic lemonade stand thing, there were a couple dudes up the street that I would hang out with, and we had this one summer, somebody came up with the idea for Blazer Aid. Like trailblazers.
Okay, smart.
With
little
lemonade.
Marketing action there.
Yeah. And so I didn't really care. I wasn't really into them or anything, but those guys were. And so we all had jerseys, shorts, headbands, the whole deal. And we took the radio flyer wagon around the block trying to sell this Blazer Aid. I don't think we made any money, though.
That's funny. I remember always just having some kind of hustle or some kind of something when I was a kid. I was always shoveling snow when we'd have snow. I'd go like door to door, knock on literally every person's door within a 12-block radius of my house and ask if they wanted their driveway shoveled, for $1, and some people would say yes, most people would say no, but you'd make like $25 in a day of hard labor, and that was awesome as a kid. And raking leaves, mowing lawns, doing the whole thing, anything I could do to make a couple bucks to go spend, because you're kind of obsessed with buying things when you're a kid. And recently my son is like entered that stage of like wanting to make money. And so like, they're like, oh, like we'll grow vegetables and then we'll take them door to door and sell them. And it's like, I'm like, you could buy like a bushel of green onions at the grocery store for like 86 cents. It's a lot less labor intensive than that. So like they were like going around recently. They were like, they grabbed like a string cheese and put a granola bar in a Ziploc bag, and they're like hitting up the neighbors, like, do you want to buy our snack packs for $2? And they do it once.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, now you can't go back there anymore because nobody wants that like constant pressure of a little kid.
Yeah. And
my son was a few months ago was like, oh, we should do a popsicle stand. And I was like, that's actually kind of smart, because we get a lot of walking traffic, especially during the COVID thing, like a lot of people are home. And so like they're out walking around on their lunch break or whatever. So he set up a stand, and, popsicles are cheaper than water, like they're free. Basically, you could buy 80 for $3, quite literally. And, he's selling them for 50 cents a piece. And I was like, this is actually a pretty good idea, like you guys might make a few bucks doing this. First day, they came in with like $18. I was like, what? I was like, that's insane. And I was like, oh, but just keep your head screwed on. Like this, you're going to saturate the market, and people will be like, yeah, that popsicle sounded good yesterday, but it's the same walkers every day.
Yeah.
Every day he's went out, he makes like $12 to $18, $20, like. And he just blows it on stupid shit because he's a little kid. But it's his money. He earned it.
Yeah.
And the craziest part about it is, like, we get all these neighborhood kids in our neighborhood that play with him. And he's, like hiring them on to, like, help. Because they got, like, 8 kids out there. Mm-hmm. And so, like, he's, like, paying them wages and, like... he's like, hey, here's your $1. At the end of the day, he like issues out like whoever's helping, and some of the kids like hold signs and like haul people in, and like the like landscaping trucks that driving through our neighborhood like will pull over and like buy popsicles for all the guys and then drive off. I'm just like, hey, well, more power to you.
Yeah, that's crazy. He just needs an HR department. He's legit.
He does,
Yeah.
But he's actually good to his employees too.
That's
he's
pretty
paying
cool.
His employees. I feel like I wouldn't have had that. Like drive as a kid to like want to pay the your friends. You're like, that's all my money. It's my money. I bought that popsicle. Like, 'cause he buys them. Like we loan him the money and then he pays it back and then we buy him more and stuff. So.
It's a cool system. I mean, you're kind of training him for what
he trained
really
himself.
happens.
Like we didn't teach him any of that stuff. The only thing that we taught him was that you don't get to just have the popsicles for free.
Yeah.
Like this is a $3 loan. and then you pay us the $3 when you make the $3 back. That way, it doesn't just because they also eat like 42 of the 80 in the day that they're out there. So like they're all like, wired up, blue mouth,
Yeah. Well, you got to test the product.
Right.
Make sure it's good.
Yeah. Well, that's what they say about dealing, you don't do the product.
How does that go there? You're not supposed to smoke your own stash?
Yeah.
Something like that?
I don't know. I never dealt drugs, but...
Yeah, it's better when you see the kids out there doing it. You're far more likely to make some money with some youngsters.
Cute faces, yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to, I never understood the people who own the ice cream trucks. Because they're driving around.
Oh, God.
I don't know how much money they're making.
And they look super sketch, like always, too.
Yeah. I mean, that's how horror movies start.
It's true.
Yeah.
The guy that comes around our neighborhood is like, he's like kind of a wholesome looking Santa Claus guy, but at the same time, if you think about what Santa Claus actually looks like when he's not wearing Santa Claus clothes,
yeah,
he's like kind of scary.
When he shaves in the off season.
Yeah, he's kind of a scary looking big fat guy that drives around in a truck and like tries to attract children.
Yeah,
it's a pretty bizarre line of work to like even appeal to want to do.
Yeah, I don't know what drives somebody to do that, but
a truck.
Even if you have the best intentions, you still gotta feel weird driving around trying to sell fudgesicles to 8-year-olds.
That's the thing. Like I was thinking recently, because like childcare, as you know, childcare is extremely expensive, and I was thinking like if I ever like in the off days, I like was driving Uber for like a hot minute, just partially just to see what it was like to like be in a service industry again, because I haven't done that in a long time. But so I started doing that, and then when when school kicks off and Emily is going to be looking at some full-time employment for teaching, we have like this 30-minute before school and hour after school that the kids don't have something to do, to go.
Yeah.
And like they can't ride the bus because we live too close to their school. So we're in this like weird gray area. But so we're like, oh, well, like we'll just send them to a daycare, or whatever for that hour and a half per day. If it's even that. It's like 45 minutes after school and 30 minutes before. And we looked at the very cheapest thing was like $2,500 a month, which
for 3 kids.
For 3 kids, yeah. So for an hour and a half a day, which is pure madness.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even make sense for one of the individuals to work at that point. I mean, that's why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she's a teacher, and they don't make a lot of money. So it's like, well, it doesn't really make sense to do it unless she can sub at their school. So like she can only really sub at their school, which blows because then she can take them to school and pick them up.
Yeah. Can they just like hang out in her class while she's subbing before and after? Or
if she's at their school, yes.
Yeah.
But if she's at a different school, no. Obviously, they'd be at a different school. So, But where I was going with this was, I thought, God damn, like childcare is just a profitable fucking profession. Like if you're like even a halfway decent person, you could watch like 5 kids and make more than a full-time teacher. Like you could literally watch 5 kids for a couple hours a day and make more. And I was like, shit, like I should do that. and then I thought like, there's no fucking way that anybody would let their kids go to my house. Like you look at my face and like I feel like a well-respected member of the community, like
yeah.
I'm not a felon. I don't have any. You look at my driving record; it's clean. You can do whatever you want to do. There's no way they're letting. And I'm a college graduate. Like there's no way they're letting their kid come to my house as a 37-year-old man because it just seems wrong societally. If my wife did it, everybody would be like, "Holy shit! A certified teacher wants to watch our kids. We're the same age. We have the same education level. it would be perfectly acceptable for her to do it, and everybody would applaud her.
Yeah.
And like if I were to do it, it would be like, oh, you're a child molester. You know, like
Exactly.
And I have 3 kids, you know, like that are of my own. You know, like
It's weird. I know what you mean.
so weird. Like
There's this weird disconnect between male and female taking care of kids. And I agree with you. Like, I know you. I'd let you watch my kids. But if I didn't know you, I would feel better if your wife was taking care of my kids. There's some weird...
Or even if she was even just there.
Yeah.
Like, to watch the evil men in the world, you know? Because guys just want to molest kids, you know?
Yeah.
That's all we want to do.
Yeah.
It's a very strange dynamic.
Yeah.
That we can't trust men.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we can't or we refuse to.
It's just ingrained in our belief system that something's not right if there's a dude who wants to hang out with kids.
Correct.
Because this reminds me of a teacher.
Yep. I was just thinking about that.
There was a 2nd grade teacher, and I don't know where the guy's at now. He seemed totally cool, totally legit. But I remember as a kid, my dad being kind of weirded out by this guy because he was always buying candy for all the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
And all the kids loved him because he was super cool.
Of course they loved him because he was buying them candy.
Exactly.
And it's like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I was saying to my wife the other day, this is very related. I was like, wouldn't it be wonderful if like we had a machine that could tell us like universal truths, right? And that we could go back and enter in Michael Jackson's name into the computer and it would say, dude's clean.
Yeah.
Dude didn't touch a single kid. He just loved children. And like it was totally innocent. He had like a child's mind. You know, like, and he was just this amazing talent. And he, like, you think about like how much money he donated to like children's organizations and like adoption things, like in Africa and things like this. You know, like the guy did incredible good in the world, but he also was probably a child molester.
Yeah. Well, the thing with him is he
was so damaged.
Well, he was robbed of his childhood by his abusive father, who since he was like 6 or 7, you know, he was just driving the Jackson 5.
I think it was 5.
Was it 5?
Yeah.
It was very young. He was just forced into. I mean, I've read stories about he made all 5 of them rehearse like all day long, practicing these songs and grooming them to become the powerhouse that they became, and so. Obviously, the dude was insanely talented.
Oh, of course, yeah. But there's no doubt about that.
He did not experience a normal life in any way.
Right.
And so you cannot become a normal person if you're Michael Jackson. You know what I mean?
Right. And part of me feels like he probably, maybe, I don't know. Like, I'm really on the fence about it. Like, he may not have done anything. Mm-hmm. Like, I view that, like, damage to his childhood as being so severe that it made him incapable of recognizing how weird it looks for him to do the things that he did.
Well, then he also hung his baby over the railing.
Yeah. I mean, he was obviously...
That's insane.
He's obviously doing some bad... Like, when you reach that level of fame, it was like Elvis, you know, the Beatles, all these people, like, when you reach that pinnacle of, like, you've never had a normal day of your life for however many years, like, I'm sure Prince or whoever, you know, like... Lady Gaga. Mm-hmm. These people don't live. They don't get to have one moment of normalcy. Or like President Obama.
Yeah.
Like everybody like that has encountered President Obama for the last however many years since he got into office. Every single person is like, when they see him, it's positive. You know, like no one's like, fuck you. Like you can't. He's too nice and too cool and too respectable. Mm-hmm. And so, like, his worldview's got to be way out of whack, you know, like, and same with Michael Jackson. It's like, these people have not had, and he hasn't had a normal life since he was 5. Mm-hmm. So if you think about, like, how that shapes you psychologically.
Yeah, you get used to everybody saying yes because they're all trying to please you, make you happy. Right. Yeah, that's got to be
And when he says,
wacky.
Hey, Macaulay Culkin and other children, climb into my bed, you know, like, let's have a slumber party because I love kids. Mm-hmm. Like, I hope that's all it was.
Yeah.
And that'd be good. Like, that would be fantastic if we could find that out because then we could all go back to loving Michael Jackson again and trusting him.
Yeah. Well, that's a downside, too, of any time that there's any sort of accusation in the public or in the press, regardless of whether or not it's true.
Yeah, there's damage done.
Yeah, it totally adjusts your opinion of somebody.
Sure. Yeah, that's just why it's so like damning when that happens. That's why everybody's so that's why celebrities today are so like they're such pussies.
Yes,
because they don't want anybody to like come out against them.
Yeah,
you know, like so like all these silly videos that people make. You know, like the now I can't think of the word, but like where you're like pretending to be like virtue signaling.
Yeah,
like all these people that do all this virtue signaling, they're doing it for that reason, because they want people to believe in them and trust them.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably have it in their heart too, to some extent, but they're overcompensating. It makes them look disingenuous.
Yeah, exactly. It makes them look douchey.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. No, that's that. I mean, I'd love to hang out with some of the people that I think are cool and that I respect, and just be able to have like a real conversation with them, because I don't think you get the real side.
Like celebrities?
Yeah.
Who would you hang out with? I've got a list of this conversation before. I've got a list of people.
Well, the first person
I'd love to get inside their brain.
The first person off the top of my head, just as we're talking about this, is Jack Black.
Oh, my hero.
I'm sure he's pretty cool.
He's fucking cool. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I guarantee he's cool.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people that just like Robert Downey Jr. Is that guy cool?
I doubt it.
Who knows? He might be awesome. He might just be like so terrified of saying the wrong thing, and then he can't be Iron Man anymore.
Yeah.
Because you get canceled. You get fucking canceled.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat these days.
Well, unless you're on the right, unless you're on the good team, like if you're a strong member of the good team, you can get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
People like if Keanu Reeves, right? If Keanu Reeves did something, everybody would look the other way for a while.
He's pretty untouchable.
He's beloved.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Well, I'm not saying there's nothing, but there's lots of things that he could do, and people go, "Well, yeah, but he's Keanu Reeves. He's cool."
Yeah, but have you seen The Matrix?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, and he's just a genuinely cool dude,
Yeah.
Also.
Well, there's all these stories about him saving people that crashed their motorcycle, or not necessarily
he rides
that
the subway like with everybody else.
Yeah.
He's just seems like a normal guy.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
And we all trust him because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at a guy like Tom Cruise, who's hot take alert coming. I think the best actor. Best.
He's very good.
I'm not going to say he's the best at acting, but he's the best actor.
He's got it figured out.
The reason why I say this, and this, I'm sure people are like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, lost all credibility. But if you look down his IMDb list, he's batting like 980. Like every single movie he makes is at least okay. He doesn't make any stinkers at all.
Well, he always plays Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but Tom Cruise is cool.
Tom Cruise is cool, and he does his own stunts.
That's my favorite thing about him.
Which is respectable.
I love insane people.
He is insane.
Yeah.
I would not hang out with that dude. But
I wouldn't want to be in a room alone with him, but I definitely want to hang out with him, because I bet you he's fucking cool. I bet you he's like one of those guys that's just like he seems fake because he's so real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's so into life, and he's so like filled with zest. That I bet you it would rub off on you. And everybody who's ever worked with him always says he's like the most professional and the hardest working, and just a worker that just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And I respect the hell out of that. And I think he's fucking crazy.
He is.
And he's not afraid of anything, and that makes me excited to like watch his next movie. Mm-hmm. Even though like if you go back to like The Mummy, right? That was like his last like sort of bad movie.
The Mummy?
Yeah.
That was Brandon Fraser, wasn't it?
No, not that one. There's like another one since then that has Tom Cruise in it. But if like it's not the same.
Do tell.
I don't think it's the same movie series, but it's called The Mummy. And like if you watch it, it's not good, but it's not terrible. And that's like his worst movie. There's like Vanilla Sky. Some people are here or there on, or Eyes Wide Shut. Like could turn off certain people. But you go down his list, and it's just bam, 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 bam.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Love that movie.
That movie's so
absolutely
good.
Love it.
Yeah.
Great idea, great execution, I love sci-fi just in general, but
and it was crazy what happened with that movie. I don't ever remember hearing anything about it. It came out.
It had no buzz.
No, and it kind of tanked, and then
flew under the radar, and everybody loves it. It's weird.
Well, I think also it had 2 different titles. I think it came out as a certain title,
Edge of Tomorrow, yeah.
No, but I mean,
and Die Another Day.
Yeah, right.
It had like a co-title.
Yeah, which is confusing, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, I love that movie, man. It's so good.
I think that was Bill Paxton's final role.
Was it?
If I'm right. Oh, speaking of which, going back to a very long podcast, we got to settle this. I have this in my notes. Bill Paxton was in Twister. Not Bill Pullman.
What is that? Did I say that?
Yeah, it was very early on in your podcasting. It's like stuck in my craw ever since.
Bill Paxton is in Twister.
Yeah. Bill Paxton.
Bill
there we go.
Pullman.
You guys were saying Bill Pullman. And I was like mowing my lawn. I'm like, those motherfuckers. Learn the difference between the Bills. Because Bill Paxton's so much better than Bill Pullman.
Well, because Bill Pullman, no, he's alive?
Yeah,
Did Paxton
Bill Paxton
died?
died.
Okay, Paxton died.
Yeah.
Pullman's alive. Pullman was the president in Independence Day.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they are different people, but they're kind of the same person. Okay, Jesse?
No, they're not. Give Bill Paxton respect.
Yeah.
He's great. And
Okay.
Bill Pullman is fine.
Mm-hmm.
He's fine. Mm-hmm. No offense, Bill Pullman, if you listen to this. I like you too. But Bill Paxton's better than you. Plus he's dead.
Well, thanks for calling me out on that, because...
Yeah, that's my top note. That's all I got. It's basically a check. Got it.
Cool. We'll just check them off.
Yeah. But, so other celebrities I would love to be in a room with, Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
He's also insane.
Yeah.
I would love to get inside his brain, and I want more movies from him.
The best people
Love them all.
are insane.
Yeah, the best actors.
The best anything.
Really?
That's how you get art. That's how you get
Okay, yeah.
art that doesn't exist elsewhere, because normal people can't come up with that. Like Picasso, Van Gogh,
Those
Bill
guys were
Pullman.
Obviously
Okay?
crazy. Bill Pullman is probably not crazy. Bill Pullman probably drinks like a tall glass of warm milk before bed every night.
Maker's Mark. Oh God, who am I thinking of? Who's the crazy actor who was in There Will Be Blood?
Daniel Day-Lewis.
He's
the best.
He is crazy.
He is the best actor.
He is the best actor
at acting
ever. He's very, very good.
He's amazing. Yeah, I love that guy. And that's another guy that I would love to just pick his brain. Although I bet you he's not cool at all.
I don't know who you'd get.
Yeah.
Who is that guy?
Christian Bale too. Another guy that's like, I bet you he's not cool.
Yeah.
But Shia, I bet, is cool. Shia seems down to earth, like I've been famous since I was very young. Somehow, like he did that like whole Macaulay Culkin thing, like where he went like, oh, like fame, this is cool, and like, oh, look how cute I am, and then like, oh, lots of drugs and like lots of fucking craziness, and then like, and then obscurity for this much, and then now he's down here with all of us again.
You can't put that on anyone.
No, that's totally normal.
You can't be famous as an adult. You absolutely cannot be famous as a kid.
No, look at Feldman. That dude's full-blown nut bar now.
Yeah, he had some things happen, though.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's Hollywood for you in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure every other time.
Yeah.
But very sad what happened to those guys.
Yeah, it's a machine. A machine that's exploiting humans to make money. It's fucked.
I know. I wish I didn't love it so much. Because I'm such a, just an absolute advocate of that art form. Like, movies are my number one, favorite thing in the whole world.
I didn't know that, because I watch a lot of movies. Yeah. I didn't know that.
I see every movie.
Yeah, I watch.
Basically. I mean, that's obviously exaggerating, but basically every movie that you should see, I've probably seen, or it's on my list to see, coming up. I've even been going back and hitting the classics lately, which I've never figured I'd do, but I've attained an age, plus there hasn't been any movies being made.
Yeah.
So I'm having to dig into the Dewey Decimal System to like look stuff up, you know.
You're a librarian.
Yeah, and so I'm like, better go back and watch, you know, this or that.
Well, the problem with some of those older movies is that the pacing is so slow. We're so used to, like, even when I watch movies with my kids, and we watched Little Mermaid the other night.
Yeah.
Just because my youngest had never seen it. And I was like, oh my God, you never seen Little Mermaid? I haven't seen it in 20 years. Let's watch it. The opening...
I've seen it 67 times
sure you
in the
have.
last 5
You
years.
saw it twice today.
Yeah, I saw it on the way over here, and I wasn't even with my daughters.
In the first 5 minutes of the film, you see cinematographer, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, when they lead with the credits.
Yes.
They stopped doing that in the 80s, thank God.
They stopped doing that. Yeah. And my kids are not used to that.
Go back and watch the animated Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. It's like 18 minutes of like, ooh-da-lolly, ooh-da-lolly, golly, what a day.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And it's just like credits. It's the full credits, which is like at the end of the movie, it just fades to black. Yeah. It's like Disney, black. There is no credits. It's the full credits in the beginning. That's the way they used to do it because they wanted to have their...
Well, it makes sense. You spend that much of your life putting something like that together.
Rather than everybody walking out like during that time.
Well, yeah. And then, within the last 20 years or so, what they do at the end is they add in some extra piece that gets you to stay. Nobody's paying attention to who actually did anything on the movie. They're just watching.
Except for me.
Except for you.
Yeah.
And me.
Yeah.
I read some of that stuff. I don't know what all of the individuals do.
Yeah.
But
I'm not sure what that best boy's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
He seems cool.
Yeah.
I wish I was that best boy.
Yeah, maybe someday. Career change.
Cross my fingers. I want to be a best boy. That's an awesome job title, too. I wonder if he has business cards. Jesse Byron, best boy.
Best boy. He's 65 years old. Just go with it.
He just wants you to call him the boy. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that is different now. Mm-hmm. People had longer attention spans. You go back to Gone with the Wind or anything that Orson Welles did. I'm drawing a blank.
Lawrence of Arabia, dude. That movie's 4 hours long.
I haven't seen any of that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Spartacus,
buckle up. It's fucking long, but it's great.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
But it's different.
Oh, the movies are filmmaking has changed. Like, there was a definite, I'm sure there's, like, I'll probably butcher it, but, like, there's a definite place, and I put it at, like, 1968, 69, like, where movies changed forever, like, right then, where there was the old way, and then there's the modern way that we still, like, you can still go back and watch something that was made in 71, and yeah, it's going to be slower than probably what you're used to, but if it's a well-made film, it won't drag. Mm-hmm. But you go back and watch something from the 50s. Yeah. It's going to be a hoof.
It's slow.
Yeah.
It's slow. Yeah, I mean, the oldest movie that I will watch and enjoy on the same plane that I do now with modern movies, it would probably be like some of the John Hughes stuff from the 80s. Like Breakfast Club or something like that.
That's the oldest you'll go, huh? You need to dig deeper. I'll give you a list.
Yeah, you give me a list?
There's some, like, have you seen Apocalypse Now?
Oh, yeah. Well, of course that, yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's some great movies from back then. Like, my brother makes fun of me because I love Apocalypse Now so much, but I made him watch it finally, and he's like, oh, it was great for the first 2 hours. Then they'll, like, Marlon Brando, like, going around with his nose in the water for an hour and 18 minutes.
Well, that's something I was going to bring up when we were talking about Brando at the start, how he's this, like, sexy heartthrob. Mm-hmm. In the 50s.
He transitioned.
He let it go, and he shows up. Have you heard the story of Apocalypse Now? Like, on set?
Yeah, I've watched a documentary on it.
Oh, yeah. What?
Heart of Darkness.
Heart of Darkness, yeah. Yeah. He shows up, and he's Marlon Brando. He's
full-blown nut bar, too.
He's full-blown crazy. He refused to learn his lines. Mm-hmm. He's, like, 50 pounds overweight.
He's fully immersed in his character. He was the first person to really do that.
Yeah.
He was the Christian Bale of his day.
Yeah.
Where, like, he'd yell at people on set and shit, like, because he was Colonel Kurtz.
Yeah.
Like, he was a native tribe leader. Mm-hmm. And if you talked to him any other way, then that was not acceptable. And he was, which is part of why I love him, like.
He was an artist. He was crazy. And he was an artist.
I appreciate that. Like that level of dedication to your craft. I really love that.
Well, there's a certain amount of I don't give a fuck either.
Right. Yeah. I'm that way on Halloween.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I go full blown like into who I am, and I don't let go of it.
Yeah.
I play that character like while I'm taking a pee by myself.
So is that your one film a year, Halloween night?
It's the only time I really get to, you know? Partially because it's like I think it amuses other people, and that gives me self-confidence, and it's the only time I ever get that.
Yeah.
You know, because people are like, "Oh, Jesse's doing his thing again." You know, he's that guy this year.
Have you figured out this year?
No, this year's just so fucked, all the way around. It's hard to even really imagine, like having a Halloween party, you know, or going to one, because I haven't been to a party in maybe since last Halloween. I don't know. It's been a long
At least
time.
6 months.
Yeah, a long time. You know, last time I left the house for something social was when I was with you a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And before that was the beginning, like my birthday in March. You know, it's pretty fucked up. I don't like it. Although, like, part of me, it's good for me because I'm in this apprenticeship right now, so it's like I kind of need the time to myself, and my friends would probably just be feeling like I was blowing them off anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like a hidden sort of good thing. No, not as good as a pandemic that's killed 1 million people can be.
Yeah.
It's good for me, partially just because it holds me in my house.
It's good for people if they can appreciate it and do positive things with it, for sure.
Yeah. Although it's affected my mental health pretty negatively.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Man, there was a month where I was just here by myself, you know, most days.
Yeah, it's gotta be tough for you, man, if you don't have anybody here.
Yeah.
Yeah, being lonely sucks.
Yeah, it does.
I haven't been lonely in a long time. I would like to be lonely.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get to be lonely.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things. Grass is always greener. You know, like when you're single, you always wish you had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
When you get a girlfriend, you always wish you're single.
Yeah.
Except for me.
Yeah.
Honey.
I love you.
Just kidding. I'm very happily married.
Yeah.
Wouldn't change a thing.
I know.
Yeah, but
She's great.
yeah.
So you don't have any idea. Say things got cleared up tomorrow. Do you have any idea what you would do for Halloween this year? And do you not want to release that info?
Normally, I would be cagey with it because I like to get the reaction. You know, like when I come through the door in full character, I like the response. Like last year, I was a juggalo, and
Can you explain what that is if anyone doesn't know what it is?
Yeah, so a juggalo is a follower of the band the Insane Clown Posse, which we just found out Shane has on his iPod a couple weekends ago, which is fucking weird. Bless you, boy. Yeah, so it's a band called the Insane Clown Posse, and they are out of Michigan, and they are like a white trash, like tweaker band, like rap rock, I guess.
Yeah.
It would be. And they were clown makeup, like the 90s, you know, like LA Vato, you know, like clown makeup.
It's almost like the Scream mask, but with makeup.
Yeah, it's like the jester, you know, like from South LA, you know, like you know what I'm talking about, there was a thing in the early 90s that was kind of like that, but so it's like really raunchy, weird, like type of music, and it's really based in that kind of Michigan kid rock like area, where they're breeding some weird folks up there, and you know, like you think about like people in our backwoods in this part of the country, I'm sure they're much even weirder than us, you know, because they're up in that snow area. But anyways, so yeah, the followers tend to wear the makeup too, and it's like it's like almost hybrid goth. Like, I don't know. It's tough to explain. They're like their own little subculture.
It's almost a cult.
Yeah, it truly is. And they have these things called like the Gathering, where it's like it's a concert that the Insane Clown Posse do, but it's like the thing that it's like a pilgrimage, like Sturgis for juggalos. So the juggalos all come together and they all do meth together and they bone. You know, like
Is this confirmed?
Yes, I watched a documentary on it in preparation for my role.
Nice.
And
wow,
like,
you're Daniel Day-Lewis Byron.
I would love to take it as a compliment. But so I watched. I was like doing research on it to just get ideas for my costume, you know, because there's weird stuff. And I ended up. The other thing about Halloween too is I like to do little slice of life. So like a juggalo is a real thing, you know, like that's a real person. And as I found out on Halloween, there's more people that like the Insane Clown Posse than you think. You know, I encountered many of them. They come up and be like, "You're down with the clown?" I'm like, "I'm not." I'm like literally wearing this to make fun of you and your people. And now I feel bad about it. Now that you're here, like approaching me about it, I feel kind of bad. But yeah. So it's a really drug-related thing. There's all kinds of like things that are really associated with them. But it's a fun thing.
I wonder if those, because there's two main dudes,
It
right?
literally made me want to go to the gathering, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would go just
I would
to see
be
what's
frightened,
up.
but it's like country fair, but like really weirder.
Yeah. But I wonder if those guys appreciate it and like support it, or if they're just like, man...
Oh, like they're people?
The two main dudes.
Oh, guarantee they do.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, they're all about it.
Can you imagine starting something like that and then just like all the crazy people that would show up and start worshiping you, basically?
You'd quit, though, if you didn't appreciate it. Like,
that's
a tale as old as time, you know, like where, you know, Kurt Cobain hated his most famous song, you know, like there's lots of examples of that.
Yeah.
Where, like, I'm sure Hanson... when they're asked to sing Bop, I bet they're pissed.
I'm so glad you brought up Hanson.
You know, it's funny. When I was overseas, we had this little, you know, like you're living in these really weird conditions, right? So like you're basically on a really small island most of the time. When you're not out on mission, you're on this little tiny island. And I'm talking about Iraq the Iraq War, 2004. So you're basically in FOB, Forward Operating Base, and it's just this little tiny thing with fences and guard towers around it, and you're on this little island, and you can't leave, and there's like no exploring because it's dangerous. You can't go out; you get killed. But so there's usually like a little PX if you're lucky, and they've got like a really small amount of things, and they're usually really weird and really like catered toward grunts, you know, like a bunch of dumb dudes.
Yeah.
And so it's like a bunch of, you know, red man chewing tobacco and, you know, pallets of Slim
Skulls
Jims.
for pussies.
Right, yeah. Wintergreen. But, yeah, and video games, you know, like in the beginning, there wasn't any video games because we didn't have electricity and all that stuff that was like readily available. But as the deployment went on, you get a little bit more, and then eventually you have everything that you'd sort of need to want. I guess now we had electricity the whole time, but so as the deployment goes along, the amenities get better because the war effort is building. So where was I going with this?
I don't know, but I'm glad you got into it because I knew we would at some point. You were talking about Insane Clown Posse, but I could go back and we could start a little differently.
Okay.
Or you can continue with ICP.
I don't remember where I was going with the island thing, like being trapped on an island.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
so
I'll come back. I'll think of it later.
Okay. So yeah, let's talk about it.
All right.
You went to high school in the Dalles, and then you finished up. And how soon after you graduated did you decide that is what you were going to do?
The military?
Yeah.
I didn't. I enlisted when I was 17. So
Okay.
I enlisted at 17 and 3 days old, my junior year of high school.
Why?
That's a really good question. I wish I had a great reason. Partially just being raised in that town and like the like general patriotism, America is awesome, sort of mentality, which I still feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then just boredom and like not really having a rudder. Like I did well in school, but I didn't really like have aspirations for going to like a big college because I'm like, even as a kid, I was still like very averse to debt. Right. So like I knew college was going to put me in debt forever and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So the idea of going to college seemed kind of stupid because I don't even know what I'm going for.
Yeah.
And I don't know how smart I am, I don't know like if I could be an engineer, or like I don't know what I could do. I don't know what my capabilities are. I've never challenged myself. Partially just because I was lazy, as a kid.
I don't think anybody knows when they're 18.
Yeah. But so there's a guy that we went to school with that was into it and had been looking at the military all along. And I was kind of chumming around with him a lot at that time. And he basically said, hey, like our birthdays were like 3 days apart, 4 days apart, 5 days apart. And so he's like, hey, like we should go join the National Guard. And I was like, what's that? Because I don't know, He's like, it's like the Army National Guard. Did
he sing the song?
He's like, like referencing the commercial. And I was like, sure. Okay, like that's a thing that we can do. And he's like, yeah, you go down to the armory and, it's the army, like you join the army, but it's like 1 weekend a month. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, we turn 17 and we can get our parents' signatures and we can join. And I was like, all right. And that was like literally all it was, like that was like on a Friday. I turned 17 that Monday and I was in on Wednesday.
So that's the cutoff is 17?
Yeah. Well, I mean, 17 is the earliest that you can join.
See, I always thought it was 18.
Yeah. You have to have a parent's signature.
Gotcha.
At 17.
Okay.
But so my mom was like, what? Like, of course. She'd be like, well, what are you talking about? And I was like,
you had never mentioned anything to her prior?
Never once.
Okay.
And like in 3 days I was enlisted. But she was proud.
Yeah.
She's like, my mom is, pretty conservative person.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's her father was in the military and her husband was in the military. So it makes sense. And my older brother was talking about it. And I never even really considered it, but it's a weird story with him too. Like my brother is really smart and like took the ASVAB, got a perfect score. And so the military was like frothing at the mouth to get him, and he was like star athlete and all this stuff in high school. And he started talking to Air Force recruiters and they were like, dude, yeah, you'll be perfect. And he's like, let's do it. And then the recruiter never called him back. And that was it. And he never like called them. And he was like, well, I'll take that as a sign. I'll just go to college because he was smart and knew what he was going to do with his life. And, hey, had all the support, to go to college and, had a great GPA, good SAT score. So he was off and running. So he didn't end up joining. And then my 17th birthday comes around and I'm like in suddenly. And it was like, it was fucking cool. They give you a bunch of uniforms and you're like, oh, this is weird. And at that point I was doing like volunteer firefighting. So I was getting kind of tired of doing that. And so I went over to the Guard and went down to MEPS, which is like the enlistment center. You enlist. And I was at drill that weekend. So like
that's quick.
Yeah. So like first thought, Friday, the week before, or Friday or Sunday. Wednesday, I was raising my right hand.
Jesus.
And Friday, I was at drill. So, like, I was 17 and like 6 days old when I was at my first drill.
And this was in the summer?
No.
This was during the school year?
This was March.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, my first drill was the first weekend after my birthday in March. And like, you do these things like... you're kind of like in this in-between state, right? Oh, and the craziest thing is, so like how does this work, right? You're a junior in high school. Like, when are you going to go to basic training in AIT? So that's 6 months of training you got to do. But there's not 6 months that you have available in your life at that time because you're in school, you're a student. So what you do is you go to basic training in between your junior and senior summer, and then you go to AIT the summer after.
Okay.
And they call it split option training, which is weird. And so you do these few months, and you're like, you walk around school, you're like, I'm in the National Guard, like this is cool. But everybody hates you because you're like a dumb idiot, 17-year-old in your unit. And they're like, who's another new guy, like, great. Yeah. But you don't know anything. You don't even know, you literally don't even know, what the military is because you haven't been to basic training. So you literally know nothing about the military. You're just walking around in a uniform with a bad haircut, And so then my end of my junior year comes, like 5 days after the end of school. I hop on an airplane. I fly to Oklahoma, and if you're wondering, Oklahoma, not a nice place.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. So I remember it so vividly, getting off the airplane and just being frightened. It's the first time I'd ever left by myself. It was the first adult thing I'd ever done, and it's a pretty good one to come in and do.
It's huge.
That's a pretty big first thing to do. So I get off, and the doors open at the airport, and I just remember the Oklahoma humidity and heat just hit me like a fucking hammer to the face. It was just what's that? Because I've never left the Northwest. I went to Vegas once when I was in 7th grade, and it was March, So I never felt southern heat, and it was oppressive, and so that was weird. And I was like, oh, this is gonna suck, because this is gonna be hard. My recruiter didn't. Sergeant Smith, if you're watching, you did a pretty good job not lying to me about what I was gonna experience. He's like, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna suck. And you're going to get through it. You're in good shape. You're going to do fine.
You're 17.
Yeah, you're 17. There's nothing that your body won't recover from.
Yeah.
Don't get shot. Don't shoot yourself. And he was just straight up, it's going to be really hard. And he was right. It was really hard. But so you get there, and then you go. Basic training is weird. It's unlike anything. I heard you guys talking about with Farger a little bit, just talking about basic training.
Yeah, I can't remember who I talked to.
Interested to weigh in on it.
I said that I wanted to try it just to see what it was like.
You don't.
No?
No. It's still to this day the hardest thing I've ever done.
Physically
and mentally.
And mentally?
Yeah.
Just for that 3 months when you were 17?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. So there's so many things. I've got 1,000 stories from basic training, so I'll just tell you the story.
Go ahead.
So you get off the plane, and then they take you in, and you're on the bus, with a bunch of other guys that are going there for the first time, and there are certain bases that do co-ed, and Fort Sill is actually one of them, but I wasn't in one of those units, so it was all male, and they're usually tougher when they're all male because they can abuse you more. Because the girls just can't physically do a lot of the stuff.
Sure.
So they just and it's probably that stigma, that mental stigma. I'm not going to be that mean to a girl.
Yeah.
We're all trained to do that.
Yeah.
Not downplaying what the female service. I'm sure it's hard in the same. It's hard too. But physically, it's definitely harder when you're in an all male. So you get there and you go to this place called reception, and you do a week in reception. And so, it's kind of before you get to real basic training. So there's drill sergeants there, but they're not the same. These are guys that are they're more chill. They want you to get a little bit into you're basically just getting the things that you need to get. So they issue you your boots and a bunch of these things. And I brought a couple of uniforms because I was from the Guard. But most people get all their stuff right then and there at reception. So you get all your uniforms, you get processed through, that you get a shitload of shots and all kinds of stuff. And you do PT and stuff in the morning, but it's not hard. And so you're like, okay, this is not going to be that bad. Like it's hot. It's really hot. It's miserable here. But this isn't that bad. Basic training is not that hard. And you're just kind of getting the first indoctrination into like what it is to be in basic training. And so like you're in this big building with, like 600 people. And you're there for a week. And so that kind of comes and goes in a blur. You don't sleep much, no matter where you are in basic training, even in reception. They wake you up early. They're getting you used to it, and getting you acclimatized. You're getting through your jet lag and stuff like that from wherever you're coming from. And so, like, the day comes where we're going to go to, like, real basic training, where your basic training, the 8 weeks is going to start. And, they call it Hell Week. I'm sure they call it that in the Navy SEALs, and I'm sure it's much worse for them. But they call it Hell Week in the Army too. So your first week is usually the worst, and then it kind of tapers down.
And is that because they want to weed out the people who can't make it? How many people quit?
I don't know if you can quit, really. I mean, I'm sure you can, but they like want you to mentally quit and they want you to physically quit so that they can hurt you more. Like that's kind of the way it is. I don't know. I'm sure there are people that just say, hey, guess what? Fuck you. Like, I'm not going to do it. I'll take a dishonorable discharge over this. But that didn't happen. Well, let me go back. So last night in reception, you have this thing called Fire Watch, which is just a ridiculous, like, thing from the past that you still do to this day in the Army, where it's you leave a couple people up during the night and you're just walking around with a flashlight, just making sure nobody's jerking off or choking in their bed or something. It's just one more level of stupid, unnecessary punishment that they do. Yeah. Like, what's going to catch on fire?
Yeah.
In a big building full of dudes. Nobody can even smoke. You can't smoke in basic training. So you're walking around with a flashlight, and my shift was like, and I was pissed. It was like, I want to get a good night's sleep tonight, but of course I've got Fire Watch. So you're up for like 2 hours, and then you go wake somebody else up, and then they stay up for 2 hours. And you're probably pretty nervous to go to basic training the next day. So mine is like the 1 to 3 session, like a Fire Watch. So I get woken up, and I'm walking around for like an hour, and I go into the latrine, it's the bathroom, and there are these big rooms, and I see this guy laying on the floor. And I was like, oh fuck, what's this? And there's this pool of blood like starting to surround him, like big pool of blood. And I'm like, oh fuck, this is what's happening. And I walk in, the dude's cut his wrists, and I'm like, whoa, like, never seen anything like this before. I'm, like 17, very young still. And so I immediately, like, dive onto, his hands. I'm, like, covering up his wrists, like, putting pressure on, like, whatever I saw in ER. I'm just, like, holding it. I'm, like, shouting, like, to get people to come help. I'm like, hey, somebody come in here. And, like, people come in, and, like, first guy walks in, he sees the blood and passes out. And so I'm like, okay, you're not helping. Like, second casualty now to deal with. Second guy comes in, and I'm like, hey, come here, grab pressure on this guy. I'm going to go get drill sergeant. Because I'm the guy that's responsible for Fire Watch, right? So I'm like the guy that should be the one to go deal with this situation. So he takes over, grabbing pressure on this guy, and the guy's already like turning white. He's a lot of blood. He's lost a lot of blood very quickly. So I run out, like I'm in like barefoot in my Army PT uniform, because you don't wear normal clothes in basic training at all. You're always in some form of uniform. So I'm in my PTs, which is the physical training uniform, and they're these little gray shorts and little gray t-shirt. So I run, and I'm like, oh, I'll set off the fire alarm. Then somebody will come. So I run, and I set off the emergency exit, which I think is the fire alarm, and then the alarm starts going off. And I'm doing that, like, dance in place, like,
yeah.
Now what do I do? And then after, like, 3 minutes, the alarm just goes off. And I'm like, nobody came. And I'm like, fuck, nobody's going to come. So I just like, I ran out the fire escape and went down to the lawn. There's like a big like parade field. And I go like sprinting across. It's like football field. I'm like as fast as I can run barefoot, you know, like burst into this door of like fresh people that are arriving at reception.
And this is 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, 2:00 in the morning. So I burst in, and like it's a bunch of guys in desks, you know, like with their hair. They haven't even gotten haircuts yet or anything. They're like straight off the bus. They're the guys that are going to replace us in these bunks. So I burst in. I'm like, drill sergeant.
With blood all over you.
Yeah, I've got blood all over my hands. You know, like blood on my PTs, and I'm just like, and everybody just like does this like, holy shit, you know, like look, like what is happening to this guy? Why is he so winded? You know, like did he just run a marathon? You know?
Yeah.
But I was just out of shape. I just sprinted like 150 yards as fast as I could.
Yeah.
So I'm like, drill sergeant, guy in the latrine he got his wrist, and I don't know what to do. And he's like, fuck. And the drill sergeant just goes, fuck.
Like it happens once a week or something.
Well, I don't know. He's just a broken man.
Yeah.
You know, like he's like, fuck. All right. And he's like, all right, show me where it is. And like, so we walk out and everybody's just like looking at each other like, oh, damn, what have I done? You know, like, what have I done? I was like, and I'm like, still in that like, let's go. And he's just slow walking the whole way there. And I'm just like prancing in place, you know, like, let's go. The guy's like, I already wasted 3 minutes waiting for something to happen at the fire escape, which nothing happened. And so like time is of the essence, you know, like I know blood only stays in your body for so long with pressure. This guy needs medical help. So he walks in like slowest amount of time passage as I'm like really wanting him to hurry and he's refusing to do it. This guy's a fucking asshole, by the way. I don't know who you are, but you're an asshole. We get there. First thing he does, he starts dressing the dude down, right? He's just like...
What does that mean?
Just like he's yelling at him. Yelling at the guy. He's like on the verge of like losing consciousness on the ground. He's like, you fucking idiot. Like, you don't even know how to cut your wrist right. Look, don't you know that you need to cut up? And he's telling him like how he could have cut his wrists better. And I'm just like, holy shit. You know, like never experienced anything like this. You know, like this is just weird. So we get him into, they call 911. There's no phones also, by the way. There's no phones anywhere in basic training because like there's pay phones when you get to the real basic training, but you're not allowed to use phones without permission. So it's a privilege. So everything's a privilege to do. And there are no phones, or else I would have just called 911. But so they pick the dude up, they put him in the ambulance, and they're like, you there, private, you're coming with me. And like, we need statements. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, like,
here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Going to the hospital. So now I've been up since 1 in the morning, right? I'm thinking, fuck, I'm gonna miss my bus tomorrow. I'm gonna be here for another goddamn week. So I spend
You're supposed to leave the next day to go to the next
6
step.
a.m. Yeah, I'm supposed to leave at 6 a.m. to go to basic training.
Gotcha.
So I basically went to bed at like 10 and slept for 3 hours. Mm-hmm. And I'm at the hospital filling out statements and blah, blah, blah. Finally, drill sergeant, we get ready. It's like 5. You know, they've in-processed the guy. They got all my statements. They drive me back. And it's like 5:45 by the time we get back because it's a ways to the hospital. So we get back and I walk in at like 5:45 back to the barracks. And everybody's all lined up. They've got all their gear. Everybody's in formation out front. All their shit's like neatly packed in duffel bags, and it's like they're ready to go. They've been up since forever, you know, like packing, getting ready to go. And drill sergeant's like, you've got 2 minutes to pack your shit because you're getting on that bus. And I was like, oh fuck. So I like sprint upstairs and like, you know, high pressure situation. I'm on no sleep. I just like rat fuck everything into my into my duffel bag because one, when you're in basic training, they make you arrange your locker in a certain way, right?
Sure.
And like you have a ton of gear. So like when you pack your bags, it has to be packed a certain way to like work. Like it's like if you're backpacking in Europe, right? Like you don't just throw your shit in the bag. Yeah. You got to kind of neatly pack it, and it's got to be organized and all this stuff. But I'm just like throwing it in because I got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So like my shoes are like in the poking out of the sides, and like I tied my laundry bag to like my duffel bag. I've got 2 duffel bags and a laundry bag, and these duffel bags are like 50 pounds a piece. So I got like 100 pounds of gear, plus my laundry bag that's like tied to it because I wasn't going to take 2 trips. So I pile everything in, unload my locker. I'm sure I forgot my toothpaste and my toothbrush or whatever, just getting the fuck out of there. Got dressed in my uniform as quick as I could, go down to formation, and everybody's like piling onto these, what they call cattle cars, right? And they're like, literally, they look like something that you'd haul cattle in.
It's not a school bus.
It's not a school bus. It's a standing like horse trailer kind of, but for people. They use them in the military.
Is that intentional, or is that a cost thing?
It's just
psychological.
No, it's just utilitarian. I think it's
yeah.
just something that can haul a lot of dudes with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And so like there's like poles that you can like kind of hang on to like on the train, right? But so we pile on. I'm like the last one on, and I'm like fucking all stressed out because I've been up all night. Anyways, so we get pulling over, and it's oppressively hot already. It's like 6 a.m. It's already super hot, and you're in there with all these dudes like super packed together, like you're crushing each other. Like they have to push the doors closed to like smash you all because you got 2 duffel bags, and those are big. Like duffel bags are like this tall.
Yeah.
So you get there, and we pull up to basic training, and this is what they call the shark attack, right? This is when all the drill sergeants in the entire battalion come together to fuck you up.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. So you pile off, and immediately dude's like in your face, like, you're fucking get fucking formation, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like scared. I'm like legitimately scared. And I'm like the first one off because I was the last one on, right? They open up these big back gates, and they're like on me, like stank on shit. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why is your shit so fucked up looking? And I'm like, drill sergeant, like, and they're like, shut the fuck up. Like they're yelling in my face, like, and they're like, your shit, you look so ate up, you look like a piece of shit, you're fucked up. Get down. Like, get over here, get down on your front lane of rest. Like this push-up position. So they're on me, like there's like 4 dudes on me. Like they pulled me out of the crowd because I look like I'm fucked up. Because I am.
Because you are.
Yeah. And it's not my fault, but I also can't explain it. Well, excuse me, drill sergeant. I think you should go easy on me because I was up all night in a very emotional state. Mm-hmm. Like they're just yelling in my face. They don't let you talk. So like they ask you a question, then when you respond, they yell into your face again. so I'm like, like really, really, like really questioning my life decisions at this point. I'm like, oh my God, this sucks. Like,
and you still have blood on you?
No, I was able to wash up at the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, but that would be a little weird, different, like. But so I'm wearing my regular uniform. I was able to change into my boots and uniform at this point. But so we get there, and they're just on me. There's 4 guys standing around me, just all yelling at me, different commands to do different things, and I'm like trying to do them all, and they're like. They have you like kind of open up your stuff and lay out your gear because they do a quick inventory of everything that you have to make sure that you have everything that you need to succeed in basic training. And if you lose something, good luck to you.
Yeah.
Don't lose anything. But so I'm like trying to get my stuff out, and everybody else's stuff's all neatly rolled, and they like have an example in the front of how they want you to lay it out. And everybody's like prepared for that, except for me. I'm just like a clusterfuck, like a walking clusterfuck. And so like I can't even get my laundry bag like untied. It's like this tight rope. And because it weighed so much, it was pulling tight the knot.
Yeah.
Because I had to tie it to the other bags. And I can't get the knot untied. And they're screaming in my ears, like, I'm just like, little child, like, and they're probably just like, oh, let's fuck this guy up. He's a little kid. Let's kill him. And so eventually you get through it. There's like a little ceremonial thing where they smoke you for your first like thing, and they make you do like 30 push-ups and it's nothing. And I'm like, okay, well, that wasn't so bad. It wasn't fun, and I wish it would have gone better for me, but it wasn't so bad. But then the real stuff happens. Like once, because they're filming it for like, they make a video. They make a little video for you. Still like of your experience in basic training. So there's like a little videographer that kind of follows you around for big events. So like you do like the pugil sticks, you know, like American Gladiators. Like when you fight with the pugil sticks, there's a guy like videoing.
Okay, time out though.
Yeah.
How many people are at this portion of basic training?
So there's four companies and about 50 per company.
So 200 people.
Or, I'm sorry, 4 platoons and 50 per platoon.
So 200 people. There's not 200 cameramen.
No. There's probably like 4 or 5 cameramen just walking around like filming.
But they're trying to document each and every person so they can give it to you later?
No, just an overall experience of your group.
Okay.
So like when you watch the video, you may see yourself in the background once or twice.
I see.
Or, you know, unless you're in some way like shown in the front. But, you know, they don't, the video is like a keepsake. They want to sell it to you.
They sell it?
Yeah. You
have to pay for it.
Right. Yeah.
How much was it?
I think it was $15.
Did you buy it?
I did, yeah.
$15.
Right.
Jesus
and they give you a little
Christ.
yearbook that you can buy. Yeah.
This is not fucking summer camp.
It kind of is. It kind of is.
It kind of is.
And it's for everybody that's been to basic training, it's one of the most memorable things of your whole life.
Obviously.
Yeah. So like
for a different reason for you.
Yeah. And I would say for the most part, it was overall a positive experience. It's like that first part really sucked. Okay. But so like we get there and so the cameras go away and then they're like, hey, now we got you. Now the cameras are off. Now we can fuck you up. And so like you're thinking, oh, like it's like they released you to your barracks, you know, to get like moved in. No. No joke. They smoked us for 4 hours. And what they call smoking is like just exercise. So for 4 straight hours, as soon as we got there, we did the first little thing, the little scripted thing for the camera. Then the cameras all go away, and then they have you. Yeah. And these guys are the real deal. These guys are assholes.
Yeah.
And these are, I don't know like what kind of person it takes, or like what you have to do mentally to turn into this person. But drill sergeants are evil. They truly are. They are like, you see when you get to the end that they're real people, but you don't like, for the most part, there's like 1 or 2 guys out of maybe 12 or 15 drill sergeants that you have. 1 or 2 show a little humanity, and the rest are just villains.
Yeah.
And it's pretty interesting experience.
So do you think that it benefited you in a positive way in that it prepared you for capture by the Taliban? Or I mean, like, do you think that their ultimate goal is to fuck you so hard that no one else can break
fuck you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the theory, I think.
But do you think some of them kind of get into it a little bit too much and like enjoy it?
You'd have to.
Yeah.
Or else you'd go home and cry yourself to sleep. You can't be that mean.
Yeah.
Like, and not want to be that mean.
Yeah.
It takes a special kind of person to be that mean. Like, so, I'm not capable of doing it. Like, you couldn't pay me any amount. I can't get to that level.
Yeah.
Like, I'm too nice of a person to be on that side of it.
Well, I want to keep going down this vein, but that's what's so interesting to me is that I know you as a kind, caring, loving, awesome individual, and to understand that was part of your past and that was something you had to go through, it doesn't associate with your personality.
Yeah, I agree. And I was always I was a square peg, you know, in the military. I was definitely that guy that's different than most people. I mean, you'd run into a couple guys like yourself along the way, but I was the soft-hearted guy, you know, like, and even when I made rank, like, I was still the guy who was nice to their privates, you know, like, I was just, it's just my personality. I'm not going to be mean. I don't have that.
Well, yeah, you probably run into a bunch of people who are just there to fucking shoot and kill people. Like some hardcore people that just want to to destroy and create chaos, right?
You mean like that's the reason they wanted to join in the first
Yeah,
place?
they
Want to go and they want to see combat. They want to do crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are people that think that's what they want.
Yeah. Until they do it.
Right. And a lot of the time, those guys are the guys who shell up and turn into weird, like, Mellish on Saving Private Ryan.
I was just gonna say, Saving Private Ryan. Yeah.
Like they just turn into that guy that like is so afraid because they're playing this like this character their whole life of this tough guy or whatever. Yeah, I saw that several times actually. Guys that were like the people that were like this is a no longer cool term, and I already used the F word earlier today, so I'll just put this out there that I don't approve of these, but they call them gear queers in the army, or at least they used to. The guys that like show up with their own shit, like they bought, like they want to look cool. They've got their own like custom shit. Like the army issued stuff isn't good enough. It's not up to their level. So they've always got like a bunch of attachments on their rifle and shit that's not army issued. They invest in it.
And then they get there and they realize that it's not what they thought.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it isn't what you think. It just isn't. War, like specifically war, you can't, if you enjoy yourself when you're there, you're a sociopath.
Yeah.
Like there's nobody that's like, this is cool or this is a good thing.
There are people though, and there's so many directions we can go with this right now. So I want to try to stay focused with what I'm trying to do. But there are a lot of people who become accustomed to going and doing that, and then they come back home and they can't live a normal life because they not necessarily enjoy it, but that becomes their home, right? And people want to go back.
That's everybody.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to go back.
No, but I did for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really true, but like I call it like the you come back and you just don't you just don't fit in the world anymore.
Yeah.
Because you went through this weird thing that nobody else did.
Yeah.
Especially in the early days. Like now we're used to seeing like veterans. Like veterans that's been a big part of our country's history for a long time. Like there's way more veterans than there were in 2004, 2005 when we got back. So yeah, I mean, we were a bunch of young guys that didn't work in the world anymore. Like you come back and you're too fucked up to have jobs.
Yeah.
You can't have a job. You're too messed up. Like you have too many things that don't work in the world. Like it's weird. And that's why suicide rate's so high, and people just jump on another deployment because it's the thing that makes sense to do.
It's a specialized skill
Right.
that only exists in that vein. You can't come back here and be a trained assassin.
Right. You maybe could, but it's tough to find that job. I was actually approached by Blackwater when I came back. I got a phone call out of the blue from somebody with Blackwaters, like the mercenaries. They're basically mercenaries to go back overseas, as a private contractor. And I was like, no, I don't really want to be a murderer for my job, because that's what those guys do is they just drive around in Jeeps and shoot people. That's not what I want.
Okay, so
as if I'm not already fucked up enough. Like I'm at least doing it for what I believed was a cause that was meaningful.
Okay, so let's go down that path. But first I need to say, what happened to the guy that slit his wrists? Did he make it?
He lived, yeah.
He lived?
He lived. Yeah, they treated him, and I'm sure he got a medical discharge and went home.
Okay.
So probably best for him, because if you make that decision on that night, you're obviously not mentally prepared to go.
But so that goes back to where you were saying you can't leave. That was his way of leaving because he couldn't just walk away. I mean, is it like a shame thing? You can't say I need to quit because the shame is just too much, or you literally cannot leave.
Well, the fact that I don't know if you can leave or not is kind of is kind of like an indicator that I didn't see it. You know, you don't see it happen. They don't let you quit. You can't. I mean, like, I'm sure there are ways. If you just straight up stood there and they kept yelling at you and kept like saying, you know, like, you got to do it, and you're like, no, like they're not gonna kill you.
Yeah,
they can't kill you. But you know, they might hit you.
Yeah,
you know, they might.
They want to do everything they can to shame you into staying.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe not shame.
Or the worst thing that can happen is they recycle you, which means that you do it all again. And that was always the ultimate fear, is because unless you were hurt to the point where you have to get medically discharged, or you get Section 8 psychological discharge, like I'm sure that guy did, you don't get to leave. So if you quit, the only thing that happens is you start over. And you do it again.
Which is even worse.
That's so much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, there's no real option to quit. There is. I'm not saying, like, it's a prison, because there is an option. But a dishonorable discharge fucks your life up to the point where you're like...
Well, and so...
You can't recover from that.
There's, like, 20 different ways this can go. What was your incentive for doing it? Was it patriotism? Was it a financial incentive? Was it like what? I mean, I know you said that you just did it kind of off the cuff, like out of the blue, whatever. But like, what attracts people to do that?
It's all kinds of different reasons. You know, like for me, I would say patriotism was really my number one thing. Mm-hmm. You know, like just the urge to serve.
This was directly after 9/11, we should say.
It was right before.
Oh, it was before?
Yeah.
Seriously?
This was 2000, March of 2000.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So you were even more... Where were you at for 9/11? That would probably solidified everything.
I was home from AIT for like a couple of days. So, like, AIT is you got basic training and then you have AIT.
That was your senior year, your senior summer.
Correct.
Because you were a senior when that happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was home for a few days when 9/11 happened from AIT. So, like, I was in full brainwash mode still. Like, when you come out of basic training, you are, like, truly, like, they're like, you need to kill your mother. You'd probably be like, you could talk me into it. You know, like, I don't want to, but if you say she's a terrorist, then I guess I got to do it, right? I mean,
holy shit.
You are true. There is no more like effective brainwashing technique that is legal and utilized.
So what is your overall opinion of the United States? I know there's different branches. I don't know how to say the war engine, Air Force, Navy, military. What is your opinion of the entire thing?
In what way?
Well, I just mean like...
do I think it's good for people or bad for people?
Yeah.
Or, I think it's good for people.
Yeah?
I do. I think it's a job. And it creates lots of opportunities for lots of people.
Okay. Especially
people that don't have guidance, that don't have things going for them in their lives. Like, I had a loving parent, you know, loving parents. You know, we weren't real, especially poor, you know, or middle class people. Mm-hmm. And I was smart. I could have went to college if I chose to. Did well enough in high school. Like, I could have just not done it. But I always say it's like the best mistake I ever made. Okay. That's how I kind of talk about it. Because it's like, yeah, I will have mental consequences from that shit for my whole life, forever.
Okay. From
deployment and just being in the military in general.
Well, I have a friend, and you know who he is too. He's probably your friend as well. He wanted to become a helicopter pilot, and he went to a school in Florida, and he got some DUIs, and he fucked up a bunch of ways. The only out for him was to join service, mm-hmm. because they said that they would pay for all of his college. They would pay off he had like $100,000 in debt. They said that we'll pay it off. You join with us, you do this, you go this direction, we'll take care of it.
Right.
So that was his incentive.
Right.
And now he I'm going to speak for him, but I think he would say it's been a positive thing for him, and
Yeah.
he thinks it's good. But at that point in his life, he chose that direction just because they offered to pay off his college debt.
Right. It's kind of joining for the wrong reasons, but like, what's his alternative? Like, what could he do?
Yeah.
And that's probably like 80% of who join the military are people that are in situations like that, where they're like, from the inner city, and they're just trying to get the fuck out, like they're trying to get out of that life. And it's just a plane ticket out.
Yeah.
And literally it changes your whole life. It flips your life upside down and changes it in 100%. Like if you go into the active military, your old life's gone.
Yeah.
You have a new life.
Yeah.
It's like the witness protection program, except for worse.
Is your real name Jesse Byron?
It is. And the National Guard is different,
Well, see, that's the thing I'm kind of confused about is because you joined the National Guard, but then you became a part of the U.S. military.
Well, the Army is the same. National Guard is a part of the Army.
See, I thought it was like a state thing that every other weekend you volunteered.
It is.
Okay.
But it's, they call it Big Army, right? You got Big Army, which is active duty Army. And then you have Army Reserve and Army National Guard. Excuse me. Yeah, perfect. That's beer. Drinking beer. So you got these three parts of the Army, right? And the reservists are like the scrubs that nobody likes, because we're all fat and lazy. And then there's the active Army that thinks they're better.
Yeah.
And they are. But they're better at being soldiers because they do it every day.
Yeah.
We are, weekend warriors. We do it, 1 weekend a month and a few weeks, during the summer, and usually like a week of training mixed in there. Okay. So you don't do that much training, really. But you work hard and you learn everything you need to learn. And really, the job's not that hard. But so you go and when you go to a deployment, you're right there next to the 101st Airborne.
But you joined the National Guard and then became a part of the military.
It's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah, they're the same.
Okay.
I mean, you raise your hand at MEPS in the National Guard, same as you do the regular Army, same as the Coast Guard next to you, same as the Air Force next to you.
Okay.
Yeah. And to go back to your question about like how I feel about the military, like it's mixed. I think it was good for me. It was good for a rudderless child. It messed up a lot of parts of my life for a long time, but it gave me opportunities that I would never have.
Sure.
Like I probably would have went to college and got a fucking degree in psychology and worked at Starbucks.
Yeah.
And I'd be the same amount of smart I am now, except just with no great job. And like my job, I work for the Department of Energy. So like I work for the government, and that is possible because I'm a veteran.
You are unique though, because your brain is different. You have compassion and emotion. And like I said earlier, like I don't associate you with that life, although it was a part of your life and everything that you are now has been affected by it.
Mm-hmm.
You're you. And I don't see like the stereotypical stuff that comes from that coming out in you. You know what I mean?
Well, we didn't see each other for a while too.
Yeah.
Like I was just as fucked up as all those other guys, like for a long time.
Mm.
I mean, I went to therapy for years.
Yeah.
Took medication and all kinds of stuff, like it was fucked up. You can't not be fucked up. Especially if you have that compassion and you have that empathy, like there's no way not to be, like messed up from it. The people that aren't messed up, you got to worry about those guys.
Yeah.
When they come back and they're just like, well, back to work at the lumber mill, just go back to work.
Well, yeah.
They're perfectly functional. Like, what's wrong with you, man?
In a different one of these episodes, one of the ones that I did by myself, I talked about a guy who actually killed someone in civilian life. And he was a part of the National Guard. And definitely had some serious issues.
Yeah.
Some PTSD or I don't know. I didn't really elaborate on all that stuff with him. I think a lot a lot of people that go over there and do that, they bring it back, and some get help and they figure it out, and some don't.
Yeah, there was a guy in my company that came back and killed somebody. You know, he was on the cover of Stars and Stripes.
Yeah.
He was the very first person to get off of a murder charge on psychological for PTSD.
Really?
So a little history there for the Oregon Army National Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was on the cover of Stars and Stripes. It's crazy. Like he actually like went and like premeditated murdered this guy and shot him execution style on the lawn, on his front lawn, and went to a medical hospital for a couple of years, and that's it.
Yeah, and see, I don't want to...
Which that's bullshit, by the way, I think.
I don't want to forgive that in any circumstance. You should never take someone else's life, unless it's a self-defense situation.
Right.
But I can't speak for you or anyone else who's gone over there and done those types of things. That affects you in a certain way that, like, I don't even know if that's really you, right?
Yeah, and you look at like, and it affects everybody so differently, right? So like, you look at the guy that sat in a Humvee next to me every day. You know, we did the same thing every day together, and we're just fucked up differently.
Yeah.
You know, like there's just no, like, our brains are so complex, and like our emotional state is so different. There's just no way that, which is why applying like blanket statements to veterans is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because you can't, you know, like there's no way to, it's just like everything that you try to apply to everybody. It's like standardized testing in school.
For sure.
It's like, it's fucking stupid because every kid's different. Every kid learns differently. Every kid has different abilities. Every kid has strengths. And maybe it's not a written test that their strengths are, you know, like, and applying a blanket thing to like everyone it's necessity because we don't have a better way. But like the same thing of like when veterans come home, right? They're all messed up in some way. If you're not, God bless you. You're like, cool. I'm really happy for you. But most people do come back and have some form of problems.
Yeah.
Just because of the stress, you know, like when you're out, you're on mission, every single second of that day you can die. And when you go home, when you're on the FOB, rockets are coming in and hitting all night, all day. Even when you're like in your safe place that's protected, there's rockets and mortars coming into the FOB, blowing shit up. So like at any moment of any day, you could die.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could hit where you're sleeping, and then you're dead.
And you're conscious of that all the time.
Of course, yeah. You can't not be.
And so when you come back,
and eventually you just get dead-eyed about it.
And so when you come back and you're here, I mean, I'm sure it was probably more intense for the first few years. Do you ever just hear a car backfire and like freak
4th
out?
of July is just a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I try to get out of town on 4th of July.
Which is so insane because
it's
that's
the patriotic day, right?
Exactly, that
it's
you
the
celebrate.
Independence Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, it's a terrible. I hate that day.
Even now.
Still now.
15 years later.
Yeah. I can't stand it. Yeah, it's awful. I usually try to leave town. I try to go like camping or get out of the city. Mm-hmm. Because Vancouver, holy fuck, it is a straight up war zone in like my neighborhood, because it's like a nice neighborhood, so a lot of people have like
kids are selling popsicles.
Yeah. it's like a lot of liquid income, you know, and these old folks, and they just set them off just for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and it's like 3 days before and 5 days after. Mm-hmm. It's just going off like all day and all night, and it's the irony of that. I'm just a puffed up cat like for the first part of July.
I never thought about that. That is very ironic.
Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is. And every once in a while, like a balloon or something. But really, I mean, I'm pretty mostly, for the most part, good.
So you did basic training. And how many actual tours to Iraq did you do?
Just one.
Just one?
Well, they consider it a back-to-back because it was an 18-month deployment.
18 months.
Yeah, it was long.
You lived in Iraq.
Well, no, 12 months in Iraq.
Okay.
18 months lead up, or that's pre and post deployment.
So do you know what day it was
That we started?
that you were in Iraq?
It was November
November something. What year?
2004.
2004 to November something 2005.
Right. Yep.
In the desert of Iraq, in a tent.
No. We had these things called CHUs. They're a containerized housing unit.
Okay.
And you'd live in there with a bunch of sweaty dudes.
And it was hot as balls all day long.
Yeah.
Are there scorpions and?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Camel spiders, scorpions, all of it. Yeah. It's just a fucking nightmare part of the world, man.
Why does anybody live there?
It's like fucking Australia. No, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as Australia. But there's all kind of like the camel spiders. Like I'm sure you've seen them on the internet. Those things are fucking real and they're huge. I mean, they can get that big. Yeah. I didn't see any that were that big. Mm-hmm. Probably the biggest one I saw was probably like the size of my hand. Mm-hmm. But that's a big fucking spider.
That's big.
And they're not even spiders, actually. Well,
no?
Let me put on my science hat here.
Oh, let's do it.
They are scorpions, actually. They are a type of scorpion. They're called wind scorpions.
And how do you designate spider versus scorpion?
It's not an arachnid. Huh. So it
didn't have 8 legs.
It's in the scorpion family.
Okay. But
camel spiders are fucking filthy, gross animals, right? They have like this fucking predator mouth. They've got like a mandible.
Yeah. That
just like opens up like predator. Ugh. Wow. Still. Ugh. Okay. Quick story. So we had this. When you're out in the middle of the desert, the Army has these radios, right, that they have to maintain, and they're secured. So you can't just get on the phone because then potentially somebody could hear your conversation.
Yeah.
And nobody in Iraq would be able to do that. But we fight as if we're fighting the most technologically advanced society on Earth. Sure. And the military spends to be ahead of the other country's technology. That's why we, spend more money on the military than literally anything else. Different topic altogether. We'll talk about that. But yeah, that's fucked up. But so we have these radios, but they only go so far. It's a radio, so you have to have like line of sight for a certain amount of time, and so they've got these things called retrans stations. So what it is you have a big antenna on the top of a hill in the middle of the desert, and there's a person that sits out there with a radio, and they relay messages. So like Kirkuk, we have messages that need to get from Kirkuk to Tikrit, for example. And you have somebody sitting on the top of a hill, and they can't reach.
A physical person at the base of the tower with another radio.
Correct.
Okay.
And so what they do is those two radios can't reach each other, so they stick a guy in the middle to sit next to a giant antenna, and then Tikrit will talk, and then they'll get the message, and then they will relay it to Kirkuk or Tikrit, whatever one I said first. So obviously in a combat area, you can't just leave that guy out there alone. So you take a crew of guys, and it's usually just people that are, like need some rest, and you stick them out there, right? So it's usually a rotation, and they'd put, so like, I think, so it'd be about like 7 to 10 days. So, and it's like...
That's a long time.
It is a long time. And so you're sitting on the top of a hill in the middle of the desert, and it's hot as balls, right? Or cold as balls, whatever the situation is. But a lot of time, hot as balls. And
balls are involved.
Yeah, balls are involved. And your ice runs out after a day because it's 110, 115, 120 degrees at times. So you got cold water for a day, and the rest of the time you're just drinking blazing hot water to stay cool. But it's usually like 7 or 8 guys, and you have 3 guys that are on constant guard So you stick them in a foxhole on the corners, and they just look out at the empty desert, you know. And yeah. So one night, I'm laying there and I'm listening to my MP3 player, which, by the way, my laptop died like the third day because the dirt and the dust got in it, and it just like was like, ugh, can't handle this.
Yeah.
And it just fucking went kaput, and that was it. And so the music that I had on my MP3 player was the music I had on my MP3 player for the whole time. And back in those days, you had like a 512, you know, like megabyte.
Yeah, you got like 9 songs.
Yeah, I had like 2 albums, and one like I had a Ben Folds album, and then just some random shit, you know, like.
And this was for like 6 months.
For a year, yeah.
For a year.
Yeah. So.
Oh God.
I have my MP3 player, and it's batteries, so like I can just switch the batteries out. But I'm sitting there listening to Ben Folds for the 10 millionth time. Shout out to Ben Folds.
Supporting the troops.
Your music will always remind me of the Warzone, which I'm sure that's not common for him. But so I'm laying there, and you sleep. You're up on this top of this hill in the middle of the desert, and you're in a tent. And I'm laying on my cot. And it's so hot. So you can't sleep. And I'm just laying on my cot, laying on top of my sleeping bag in my underwear. You know, just like, oh, fuck, it's so hot. I'm listening to my MP3 player. And we've got these mosquito nets that go up and kind of keep you safe from the bugs, because the bugs are all over the place in the desert, and mice and all kinds of shit. And so I'm laying there, laying on my cot. It's like probably like 1 a.m. And suddenly I feel something land on my face. And it felt like the weight of like $50. You know, like the weight, like what that would equivalent weight of that is. Yeah. And I was like, huh, and it like startled me, you know, like, cause something touching your face, like when you're just like half asleep. I'm like, what was that? And then of course it starts crawling around.
Oh,
and I was
God.
like, and then I'm like, ah, fuck. And I'm like, jump up and like dive out and like you know, like scratching at my face, like don't know what it is. I thought it was a mouse, you know? And so like I dive out, and everybody thinks, you know, I'm getting knifed, you know, because it's just
Where are they?
Middle of the night, you know,
Yeah.
like some dude is in our tent just cutting throats, you know, like, because I'm freaking out like it's like that's happening.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, stop, just touch my face, you know, like, and they're like, what? And I shine my light on it, and it was a camel spider, and it was probably like, you know, the size of a mouse.
Got through your mosquito net.
Climbed up on the inside, went
God.
over the top, and just fell. And like they're just chasing heat, right? Or just whatever warmth.
Trying to eat faces.
Yeah. And yeah, landed right in my eye socket. Right here.
Did you smash it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Got my boot and smashed that fucker.
Wow.
But it was on my bed. Swatted it off and smashed it. Everybody's like, dude, that was on your face. I was like, I didn't like it. I'm not even like scared of spiders, but when you have a spider the size of a mouse on your face,
that's no good.
There's just no like being normal.
No, that's no good.
A lot of good times at retrans, man. Like just I was up there probably 4, 5, 6 times, you know, for a week at a time. There was another time. By the time you get toward the end of your deployment, everybody's like accumulated all kinds of stuff from the lifestyle, you know, like because you're just trying to make the best of it. So like guys who got like video game systems and shit. By the end. And so this one guy, his name was McCall. Couldn't tell you his first name, so it'd be impossible to know who he was. But he was a guy from Baltimore, and he got scooped up on IRR, which is inactive ready reserve, which is the worst way to go to a deployment. So what it is when you enlist, you sign up for a certain amount of time. So like you can do a 2-year, you can do a 3-year, you can do a 5-year, 6-year, whatever you sign up for. Then you serve those years. And then you have inactive reserve. So up to 8 years, they can recall you. So if you do a 2-year enlistment, they can recall you for 6 years.
That's brutal.
Yeah. So you can be out of the military for years and get recalled.
Be working at Target, and they're like, hey, come on back.
Yeah. And what a terrible thing that would be. My roommate actually was an IRR guy also. Anyway, so this guy named McCall, he was a rapper from Baltimore. Like, he was trying to make it as a rapper.
Yeah.
And he gets recalled, and we used to play Madden on his little video game thing. And he's from Baltimore, and he's hanging out with just like 1,000 white guys, you know, like he just doesn't, he's like not from our community. He's not like, we're National Guard. So like, we're all from the Northwest or Idaho, you know, and he's from Baltimore, and he's just doesn't fit in, but we're all cool, you know, like nobody has any ill will toward him. Yeah. But he's just like there kind of floating amongst all these guys that don't have a similar lifestyle. Yeah. Anyways, so one day we go out to one of the bunkers, and my buddy comes in, and he's like, "Oh fuck, dude, grab a sandbag, grab a concertina glove." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Dude, there's a giant monitor lizard out there." And I'm like, "Oh, you know, like something like to entertain me for 5 minutes, you know." So a concertina glove is a glove that you use to put concertina wire out. Okay. So it's like an armored, like a chainmail glove. Okay. So like we go out, and I grab a sandbag, which is something you put sand in, of course. You know what a sandbag is. And he's like, "It's under there." And I'm not shitting you, man. It was a lizard that was this big. It was this giant monitor, like with a big fucking mouth, you know, big old head, big mouth, and it had like this like ball tail. It looked like a goddamn dinosaur, man. Yeah. Nothing you'd ever see here. Yeah. And so it's like this long, like probably 2.5 feet long. And it's underneath, like in our bunker. And I'm like, "Oh fuck, we're gonna get this motherfucker. We're gonna put him in a cage." Because we'd like to fight animals and stuff like that. Like
cockfighting.
Yeah. I mean, we do it with camel spiders and scorpions. You'd always put them in, fight. They'd fuck each other up and whatever.
Entertainment.
Yeah. Anything to just
Netflix.
pass time. Yeah, they don't have Netflix at that time. Well, it's probably discs. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they didn't even have it at all. But so I give the glove to Shane, my buddy, and he's like, I'm holding the sandbag, and I'm like, "Okay, get him. You know, reach down there and get him." And so he's walking in, and this guy McCall, he pulls out his video camera, and he's like, "You motherfuckers, you guys are so stupid. Like, why are you doing this? Like, what are you going to do with this lizard once you get it in the bag?" He's like, "Why do white people do stuff like this?"
White people are so dumb.
Yeah. And it's valid question. Why are we doing that? And he's like, "You guys are fucking stupid." And so he reaches in there with this glove, and this glove's going to protect him. You know, like it's built for handling razor wire. So there's nothing that's going to get through it. So even if that lizard bit his fucking hand, nothing would happen. Yeah. So he grabs it by the tail, which is big, bulbous, weird tail, and he pulls it out, and he's like lifting it up, you know, to like put it in the sandbag. And I'm like holding it. I'm like, put it in. But it keeps like lurching at his hand, like flipping around, doing that thing that like snakes do, you know? Yeah. To like go and bite his hand. And he keeps like doing this, you know, like, ooh. And I'm like, put it in the bag, you know, like put it in there. And I can tie it, you know, like, and he just keeps doing it. And then he drops it, right? No. And then we got a 3-foot lizard on the loose. Yeah. And guess where it goes? Right for McCall. Yep. So runs straight at him, and just like he's sitting there filming it and like watching it go down, and it jumps. He's sitting up on the edge of the bunker, and it jumps right in between his legs and crawls right up into his crotchal region. And
while he's filming it.
Yep. And he just dumps over backwards, and he screams like a girl. Like he screams in the most high pitched, hilarious scream, and we're all losing it. You know, like we're laughing at him. And so he dumps over, and he goes running, you know, and lizard runs off, and we're still like, "Get it, you know, get the lizard." And so we go back and watch the video, of course, you know. And I was like, "Dude, you have to send that in to like America's Funniest Home Videos or whatever the thing was." I didn't even know if that was even still a thing at that time. But I was
probably
like, "You have to send that into America's Funniest Home Videos because I guarantee you'll win." And he's like, "Fuck no. I'm trying to make it in a rap career." You're telling
I don't want to be known by that.
You're telling me that like I'm gonna have this shrieking like a girl video of this like. I was like, I guarantee you get $20,000. It's soldiers. It's a fucking crazy lizard. All kinds of things that like people are gonna eat it up. They're gonna love it.
Yep.
And he's like, nope, not gonna happen. Not gonna do it. I'd pay $500 for that video right now. Like if I could watch that again.
You think it exists?
Oh, I doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not. It's probably on like it is on a dead platform.
Yeah.
Like some kind of VHS
Some sort of
thing.
like video. Yeah.
It tends to harden people, really. And I think I kind of went the other way. I just became softer. Like with I can empathize to the point where like it's almost a disability. You know, like I just empathize so much with everyone all the time, which is why politically I'm such a weirdo. Like, because I can see like the most staunch right-wing radical crazy fuck, and I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And I can see the most ridiculous liberal, you know, in the way that they're talking like absolutely crazy talk, and I can see where they're coming from. And I just live in that constant barrage of everybody. This is why I can't vote. You know, like I can't be a responsible voter because everyone's so radical and so extreme, and the world is just way too nuanced to live in those worlds. And we're constantly exposed to those loud voices on the far extremes.
Yep.
And everybody thinks that that's like if you're a Democrat, you think that all Republicans are dumb fucking morons. But then, if you actually thought about it, they're not. You know, Republicans they've got their reasons for having their opinions. You know, if we're talking about like racism or something like that, fuck those people. But like just the average person, like that has their political beliefs, they have their reasons for having those. And yes, you may not agree with it, but they have their reasons. And if you can't see why that they may have that, then you need to look inside yourself.
Well, it's about being open-minded.
Right. Which is why it's so crazy to me that people are so extreme. And they're like to the point where they want to fucking kill the other person.
It's tribalism. Like for whatever reason, you have to subscribe to one side or the other. You're not allowed to have like some sort of varying belief. Like you're either one thing or you are the other.
Right. And that's not healthy.
That's not healthy
good
for
us.
No.
It's not going to fix anything.
No.
It's like the fires are a perfect example. We got all these fires going on right now. And everybody's like, you're the reason this happened. You didn't let us log. You didn't let us maintain the forest. And then the other side's like, you are the reason why this fire happened. You are the ones who walked out on that bill in Oregon to go and spend more money on the Forest Service to like rake the fucking forests or whatever it was that was going to do, like clean up the debris on the ground. Both sides think the other one is the cause of this, and they can't accept that maybe that's a combination.
Yeah.
It's every fucking issue in the entire world is this way. Like all these extreme things that we can never, ever fucking get past. Abortion. It's like, oh, like you want to kill babies? Like, how could you kill a baby? And it's like, I will absolutely not understand a reason why you'd ever kill a baby. And it's like, well, this girl got raped by her father.
While she's 12.
And now she's pregnant with a baby. You can't understand that?
And now the baby has Down
Absolutely
syndrome.
not. Yeah. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, really? And then the other side of that is like, a woman should be able to choose no matter what. And then like I'm going to cross my arms about that. And that's the end of the conversation. Yeah. Like, so this girl waited till it was 8 months and like found a way to get an abortion at 8 months. That's killing a living child.
Yeah.
These are things that there is a place in between that we have to live.
Yeah.
You can't just be one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's every single fucking issue in the entire world.
Yeah.
There is like, you've got the crazy and then the crazy over here. And then everybody is expected to pick one side or the other and have no nuanced view.
And the crazy is the loudest.
Yes.
On both sides.
And it's the most Crazy. It's the most extreme fucking thing. It's like climate change. Oh, climate change is 100% only caused by men, and we should cry about it every day.
Yeah.
Or climate change is absolutely not caused by men whatsoever, and it's a natural cycle. Guys, it's probably something in between, right?
Yeah.
Can we just agree and maybe throw a little money at it and not be so fucking stubborn?
Yeah.
Maybe try to cut down on some pollution, but maybe not just ignore the problem entirely, or maybe not just devote every single cent in the world to it.
It's my team versus yours.
Right. It's baffling to me.
Yeah.
And as a strongly empathetic person, I see, like, I understand that the reason you want to protect an unborn baby is because an unborn baby is the most innocent thing in the world. And I understand that you want to protect a woman's rights, and that's very important. Both these things are fucking important. Now, can you guys come together and talk and agree on something that makes sense?
Nope.
No, we can't.
No.
And we never will. I've lost all faith that we ever will.
It has become more polarized with the internet and with social media.
If COVID didn't do it for us, if a pandemic that's killing 1 million people doesn't unify us, like, what's going to do it?
I've had this discussion before. Like, what if aliens showed up? We're fucked.
No, yeah, there's no way.
Some people be like, aliens are awesome. Other people be like,
I
fuck
accept
the
our
aliens.
alien overlords, and
Yeah.
I can't wait to serve them.
No.
And the other people like, I'm gonna fucking shoot those motherfuckers down.
Where's my shotgun? Goddamn, get my shotgun. Yeah, it's
And there's gonna be no in between. There's nobody that's gonna be like, hey guys, I think it'd be best if we actually had a real conversation about this.
No, some people just want to fight. They don't even if you rationalize with them and support their opinion, they still want to fight you. It doesn't matter. It's so disappointing.
This is where I sort of am going to contradict myself a little bit. I believe that people do want to fight, but they only want to fight with nothing at stake. They want to fight on the internet.
Yeah.
They want to fight in a conversation.
Yeah.
But if you put people in a real situation, like some people at my work were talking about, like, we're like approaching civil war. I'm like, no, we're not. You know why? Because who's going to fucking fight in it? Who's going to fight in a civil war right now?
Yeah.
Do you honestly believe that people are going to take up arms to murder each other over these issues?
Over Trump versus Biden.
Over Trump versus Biden, or over BLM, or over COVID, or any of these issues. Like, do you honestly think that, let's just say, Boise, Idaho is going to fight Portland? For one, Boise would kick the shit out of them.
I was going to say Portland's going to lose.
But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that enough people in Portland have guns. That's not going to happen. You know why? Because there's only like 10 people in Portland that are strong enough willed to like go actually fight that war. Yeah. There's only 10 people in Boise that believe that the sentence for having that opinion is death.
Yeah.
So no, we're not going to go into civil war, but we're not going to get better. We're not going to like be happy until we get away from this ridiculous two-party system that just plagues us forever.
Yeah. I mean, the craziest thing is that we had some very smart, ambitious individuals who decided to create this system in the 1770s. And do you know how old they were? Most of those guys...
Yeah, they were like in their 20s.
They were in their 20s or 30s.
Except for Ben. Old Ben. Ben was like 60.
Ben was like trying to hook up with a bunch of ladies.
Old, swinging dick, France loving.
I know. He's going to France and just like hooking up with ladies.
Banging 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
With his fake wig.
That's the other thing. They are wearing wigs, man. Like, what's up with that?
It. It's ridiculous.
But
yeah,
so it's
bunch of ambitious rebels, terrorists.
20 to 30-year-olds creating this brand new system.
Yeah, which I believe in and is genius, I think.
They did a great job. Okay. But can you imagine any of those people coming back 300, 250 years later? We've got computers. We've got the internet. We've got cars, airplanes, all kinds of shit going on. Are they not going to come back and go, You guys didn't write new rules? You're still following the same fucking rules? We wrote these rules we wrote these rules on a piece of paper with a fucking
quill
feather.
Yeah.
Dipped in ink. You guys are following the same rules? Are you kidding me?
And John over here signed all fucking big and didn't even leave room for us.
Yeah, and now he's in Chris Farley movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, no, are you kidding me? That is not the
They would probably
document to
realistically think that, 300 years later, we probably would have made some changes. And by the way, we have made an incredible amount of changes.
What is there, 26 amendments? But we have not figured out, the system we have right now is going to crash and burn. It will not survive as it is.
You talking like electoral college and all that stuff?
I'm talking about the whole entire thing. It cannot survive the way it is. With everything that we've created, it was a great starting point, and you have to adjust it. It's like a fucking software update for your iPhone. Yeah. If we were still running iOS 1,
yeah, we'd have some pretty shitty iPhones.
We'd have some pretty shitty iPhones.
Yeah.
You have to change. You have to adjust to what society is doing, and we haven't really done that. We've given women the right to vote, which is perfectly fine.
It took a long ass time.
It took a very long time. That's great. We decided that president can only serve 2 terms.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's great too.
Need to get that into Congress.
We have banished alcohol and reinstated alcohol.
Because it's badass.
Because it's awesome.
Cheers.
Okay? There are a lot of things that we have decided that we should change. But there are
still
also,
pot, federally illegal.
Man, there are so many things. There are so many things that we need to adjust from that original document that they signed on a fucking piece of paper in 1776 with a turkey feather dipped in ink.
Who's going to decide what gets changed and how? That's the problem.
That's the problem. Is that it's
we can't have anybody that's we can't have me, a guy who lives in the middle, make those decisions.
You cannot.
By the way, we'll never ever have a guy like me.
You cannot make those decisions because you are not currently in power. The people who are in power benefit from the system as it is. They know how to exploit it and continue it. They have no desire to change it because they exist because of the current system.
No, there are people that want to change that.
There are people that want to change it.
They just can't because there's a lot of people that don't want it to change.
There are lobbyists who get money from corporations who...
Right, they've built their entire business around these rules and the way that they are put together, the way our country's put together. And they have hundreds of years, a lot of these companies have hundreds of years building their company up around that system.
Yeah.
It's like why we can't, just make college free all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's like because we have lots of years where people had to pay for it, and that's not really fair to them. So let's just never change it.
Well, I mean, you could argue both sides of that. I mean, you forgive all the debt. And,
but I already paid my shit off.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You forgive all the debt. There are a lot of people...
If you want to give me back that $95,000...
Well, the argument is that it cheapens the college system.
Because it does.
It could.
It does. It does.
Okay.
But I'm not saying we shouldn't do it. But it does cheapen it.
That's the thing is
you make it free and then it's worth less.
I'm not smart enough.
Not worthless, but worth less.
I'm not smart enough or educated enough to argue either side. What I'm saying is there's no dialogue. There needs to be a dialogue, and there needs to be a system where we say, these are the benefits, these are the costs. Mm-hmm. Should we do this? Should we not?
Right.
But people are not willing to do that.
We can't even take one step toward that. That's how you do it, is you do it a little bit at a time. Like how they steal our privacy, right? They've been doing it a little step at a time, stealing our privacy, and now we have no privacy, and we didn't even know that they did it to us. Some of us do.
Well, it's getting worse, too.
Right, and they're stealing more.
COVID.
Yep.
Yeah.
All in the name of protection.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. Good, I mean...
No, there are very smart people who are in charge right now.
Yeah. A lot of, people want to say Trump's an idiot, but The guy's kind of a fucking
No,
evil genius.
No, he's not an idiot. He realizes he can say whatever he wants to, and it doesn't matter. He's just throwing ideas out in the wind, and some of them catch and some of them don't. I mean, he got impeached and didn't get prosecuted or didn't get convicted.
Yeah.
He was, what was it? I think the Senate impeached him, but the House didn't confirm it. Yeah. So he got impeached, but it wasn't finalized, whatever.
Yeah. He didn't get impeached.
He can do whatever he wants to.
Yeah.
And there are no consequences. And that is, I've said this before, that is the coolest thing about his presidency, is that we see how far you can go.
He's breaking down the barriers. Although, really, if you think about what he's actually done, he's just like every other president.
He is more transparent.
Yeah. If you want to talk about a president that made the biggest impact on our lives, that's George W. Bush.
Yeah.
And through the Privacy Act, that's like the number one
Patriot
Act. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Patriot Act. That's probably the biggest like expungement of our freedom that's ever happened in the history of the United States. Mm-hmm. But
but people accept it and they forget about it, and then time goes on.
I don't even think people noticed.
They don't,
because if you really think about it, like, what is it? I mean, it's kind of a who cares for me. Like, yeah, it would be better, I guess. I would prefer that they didn't see and listen to everything I've ever said and record it and use it against me potentially. But, like, it's not really affecting me that much because I'm not like somebody they care about.
Well, the argument is,
but the fact that it exists it goes against my nature, like my every like thing that I want to protect, because it's just a stepping stone toward the next thing.
Well, the argument is, what do you care if you don't have anything to hide?
Right. That's what they say first.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is the thing that matters more. It's like all these things are baby steps toward a bigger thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that next thing is necessarily. I mean, there's been several things that have erased our privacy since then. But,
Well, they've done studies.
What do we got to hide? Nothing. I mean, I look at a lot of porn, and somebody's got to look at that.
They know.
Yeah, I know they know.
You're just watching, and you're like, yeah, somebody else is watching this too.
Yeah,
it's all good.
It's embarrassing for the person that has to look, but
they're like, I like that one too.
Probably watching me on my camera, and I feel sorry for them, realistically, because I'm making a weird face.
Yeah, they have infiltrated that system, and they are capable of documenting and recording all of these things that we're doing, and figuring out where we're going as an American population. And
it's all for money. I mean, they're just using it to sell us shit.
It's all data that they're collecting.
Right. To sell to companies and to sell like there's a reason why when we're talking here about this or that we're going to see an ad for something. Mm-hmm. It's because they're listening and they want to sell us shit.
Yeah.
And like, whatever. I mean, that's not good, but it's also like not that bad.
Well, that's the other thing, is that they're
not catching any fucking terrorists with it. I know that. It's like, why did you do it?
They have done studies. I forget which company, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. They have done studies where they offer to people. They're like, hey, we will give you this service for free if you allow us to collect your data. Mm-hmm. And
that's Facebook.
The overwhelming majority of people are like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
like,
it's free?
Oh, yeah, I don't have to pay $8 a month. Okay, cool. Yeah, do whatever you want.
That's Facebook. That's the terms and conditions of Facebook. Mm-hmm. Is we own everything that you ever put on here. Mm-hmm. We can do with it what we please. And you will like it.
And
then you can like that girl's photo.
That's the crazy thing about Facebook, is that have you ever deleted your account or attempted to?
No.
Okay. When you do it, I did it once before, and they say we understand you want to delete. We will keep your account active for 30 days in case you change your mind. Maybe it was only 2 weeks. But there's a defined amount of time where they say 2 weeks or 30 days or whatever, in case you change your mind and you want to come back.
Yeah.
So they're not fucking deleting anything. It's
in case you get the shakes.
Yeah, because they know you will.
Yeah.
They're going to keep all that stuff on their server, and I don't think they ever delete it anyway.
No, they own it. Why would they delete it?
Yeah. It's
they got enough money to store it.
Yeah.
Data storage is cheap. Yeah, it's good for them. Those fucking villains.
They are villains. Did you watch that doc?
No, I started it last night actually because I thought it might give us something to watch, but I was already kind of half drunk and I was like, this is bumming me out.
it will bum you out.
Yeah, I watched like 15 minutes and I was like, I don't think I want to watch this.
It will so bum you out.
I don't like this is making me sad.
Yeah,
because I already feel this way. I already feel like these guys are bad guys.
They are.
They had some people on there that were
the guy that created the like button.
Yeah. Which I'm fine with that guy. You know who I want to kill?
I'm fine with that guy.
Give me the guy that created the share button, and I will decapitate that person right here in front of the camera.
What is wrong with share?
The share button, it's the most irresponsible information sharing device that's ever been created by man. And that's a hot take, but I'll tell you why. So your grandma, who just joined Facebook 2 years ago, who's just a nightmare on there. Every day she's on there just fucking clicking share, spamming, share. No fact checking, no nothing, no original thought. Nothing ever has to come. It's just a propaganda spreading machine. That share button is, I'm not exaggerating when I say it might be the thing I least like in this whole world, outside of like baby rapers. You know, it's like baby rapers and then the share button, and they're like right next to each other. You know, like I'm like maybe the share button. I don't know, but I think if you're gonna share something, and this has always been my beef with Facebook. Facebook used to be kind of cool. I used to kind of enjoy Facebook, and if you followed me on Facebook at one point, you know that I've done a lot of kind of thought-provoking discussions that I try to bring up and you know, try to get people to see things from a different perspective. And I've always kind of liked that about Facebook, is I would type out this thing and then I'd create a dialogue, because I have a diverse group of friends, right? I got my Portland peeps, they're all the lefties, and then I got my the Dallas peeps, those are my righties, right? And I got all these people, and I kind of put them together, and I absolutely condemned anything that was not being civil. And it was cool and created some neat discussion. But Facebook now, which I don't even use Facebook anymore. In fact, if you're listening to this, I almost certainly deleted you as a friend, because I just use it for family communication and some close friends now, and I even changed my name. But so if you know my name, good for you. It's
top secret.
It's like from The Sandlot, sort of. But anyways, the share button is the undoing of that beautiful thing that we had. And what it is they just, if they made for Reddit users out there, a lot of subreddits will require you to put in 200 characters for your post. So you can't just impulsively throw something out.
Yeah.
You have to put enough text to like make it something.
Yeah.
And if they did that on the share button, where even if you wanted to share, if you just had 200 characters that you had to type, and it can't just be and you actually typed something out that was like confirming, like, hey, I think this is meaningful for this reason, and this is why I think that. If that was required, the share button would be fine. But instead, people like my mother will post like 19 shares in a day, and then and people will just be like, this is plainly untrue, what you've shared. And it's like, no big deal. And so like every single thing on every person's feed is all just shared things. How many like original thoughts do you see on Facebook anymore that people actually posted something that's their thought about something, like out of 10, Or like, let's even go like out of 50, how many posts, if you're scrolling through, are something that somebody came out of their brain? Would you say?
I have no idea.
Yeah, probably less than 5 out of 50. Maybe 1 out of
See,
50.
I don't use Facebook. So you're saying that the majority of people just see some sort of article or something, and then they
read the headline and they share it.
Okay.
They don't even read the article. They just share it. Or a meme and they share it.
That's not an effective means of communication anyway. You're
absolutely not.
You're agreeing with the headline and you're trying to get other people to subscribe to whatever that headline is, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And even if it's untrue, it's a reaction.
Yeah.
It's a reaction.
It reinforces your belief.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Confirmation bias.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what I think. Share.
Yeah.
I don't even need to read the article because I already believe that.
See, that's the disappointing part is that you're not going to convert anyone.
Yeah.
You're just basically saying I like red shirts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Red shirt, red shirt, red shirt. Ugh, I fucking know you like red shirts.
Right.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah. What do you like about red shirts? I don't care.
Red
I like red shirts.
Red shirts.
Yeah. Exactly. It's not good.
It's not good at all. That's what that documentary says. It's not good.
And Instagram is just like the picture version of Facebook.
Yeah. Well, it's owned by Facebook.
Yeah. I don't know. I have an Instagram account and I like to post my photography stuff on there, but I don't really do anything with it anymore. It's kind of like I don't want to look at the feed.
Yeah.
Even though it's like all people that I've cultivated to follow on purpose.
Well, a lot of it is girls taking pictures of their butts.
Yeah, which is cool.
Which is awesome.
But I also have Pornhub.
I know there's lots of butts on the internet.
There's a lot of butts.
I don't need butts on Instagram. I can find them elsewhere.
Yeah. I mean, that's not why I'm there.
No?
It isn't. That's not why I'm there. I'm there to look at waterfalls. Yeah. If you follow me on Instagram, you know
I've seen your stuff.
That's the only thing I care about on Instagram.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, Reddit. If you're not on Reddit, you should be because it's awesome.
Well, that is the argument for the documentary that we're talking about that's on Netflix, is that if you are logged in to an account and you click on things, you will begin to acquire
a profile.
An
internet profile.
An internet profile that the algorithm deciphers and interprets, and then the algorithm will send you other things that are in that same vein
to confirm your beliefs.
If I like Maker's Mark, I'm going to get whiskey pictures constantly, and I'm not going to get pictures of tequila. Maybe I kind of like tequila, but now I'm just seeing all the whiskey.
Tequila enough, you will.
But that's the thing, is that it sends you further and further down that confirmation bias wormhole where you don't see the rest of the world. And that is where you get the hardcore Democrat, conservative viewpoint.
It just keeps showing you what you want to see.
Exactly.
And you'll never read an opposing viewpoint.
Exactly.
Right. Echo chambers are bad, okay?
They are. They really are. And I don't think people realize they are a part of them, They just they get into it. Like, I hate to use her as an example, but my grandma, she watches Fox News all day long. And I'm not opposed to Fox News. I'm not opposed to CNN. I'm not opposed to MSNBC. I think all of those channels offer a version of the news. They're all biased.
It's education. Or not education. That's the wrong word. Entertainment. Education was the wrong
Edit
word.
That shit.
Please, please take that out.
They are versions of the truth that you should expose yourself to.
Well, you could take the exact same event, give it to both those entities, and say, here's your story. Headlines are going to look real different.
Exactly. But you should watch all of them. She doesn't.
I agree.
She watches that one. And she dictates her life based off what they feed her. And you cannot have a conversation with her about anything current without some sort of tint from whatever, and they could switch tomorrow and be like, Obama was the best president ever, and she would tell me Obama's the best president ever. Like, it's in her brain.
Except that contradicts everything they said for 8 years. So
Doesn't matter.
You really?
If they said that,
give your grandma some credit.
If they said that on Fox News, Trump is watching 4 hours of it every morning. Do you think he would tweet Obama's the best president ever?
Well,
wouldn't that be the fucking shit?
Like Anchorman. He's gonna read anything on the telephone.
Oh my god, that would be insane. That would be insane.
I think your grandma would.
I love my grandma.
Catch that shit.
I hope she doesn't ever hear this.
She would catch it. She would. People are smarter than that. People are. But what you're saying is generally true. But you can't just say like that if you gave them any piece of information that they wouldn't catch it, because they would. People are smart. Like, most people actually, the reason why they watch Fox News is because they tell them about the stuff that they believe, or that their parents taught them to believe. Mm-hmm. And so when they listen to Fox News, it gives them a comfortable feeling that, yeah, I'm still doing the right thing, and they're telling me that what I'm thinking is correct.
Sure.
And there's value in that, and ratings are a thing, and television as a whole is going to be gone really soon. I mean, like, television
yes.
as we see it now,
100%.
It's going to be gone like 5 years or 10 years. You know, it's really not going to last very long. It's like Blockbuster Video. It's just something that's not going to be there, and that's great. But at the same time, you can go down those same funnels doing it the new way. You know.
It's almost more influential down the newer channels.
How do you mean?
Because
they can really divert the information to what you want to see.
It can be infiltrated by third parties. When you have Fox News broadcasting with Shepard, I don't even know what the fuck his name is, whoever Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, whoever's on Fox News, and then you have on CNN, Wolf Blitzer. Those people, they're getting their info and their direction from some source above them who's running the company.
Right.
When you are getting your news from Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, you can get it from anywhere.
Yeah, I think that's not good.
It is not good.
Yeah, I think CNN and Fox News are better than Facebook, like, as a news source.
I don't want to agree, but I do. Because when you're on Facebook...
Because, by the way, that Facebook is from your grandma, who reposted something that isn't even true, or isn't even, like, close to true.
That's from some Russian farm in Moscow that Putin had. There's a warehouse full of 30 people, and they're posting all kinds of crazy shit.
Or just, like, straight up the KKK. They can have a Facebook account.
Whatever.
You know, like, those are so much worse than, like, Fox News is at least held to a standard of, like, television, like, if Fox News says things that are, like, blatantly racist, then they can be held accountable for that. Mm-hmm. Facebook doesn't.
Yeah.
They don't, they can't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not true, I guess, because Facebook is pretty run by the left.
Okay,
like the social media sites do tend to block more things that oppose the left's ideals.
But time out. So you can get an incredible amount of misinformation from social media sites, but in my opinion, it's the
purest form of communication.
They should not be censored.
I agree.
There's a lot of stuff happening on Twitter.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is they're going to be censored. Like, if the KKK wants to post something, it's not good, and I don't want that out there.
It's not good
at all. But they shouldn't be censored because it's a slippery slope.
Because you have Twitter censoring Donald Trump.
Tons of shit.
Which Donald Trump spews all kinds of fucking
Joe Rogan.
All kinds of fucking heinous shit that's not true. But you should be allowed to say whatever you want to.
It's our right to discern that for ourselves.
That's the issue, though. You have a ton of people that are looking at the internet constantly. They are not discerning right from wrong, truth from untruth.
Right.
They are just reading it, and it goes right in there, and they don't care.
And that's where Twitter thinks, because they're highly evolved and they believe that the left is on the right side of history, that it's okay to do this because it's protecting grandma.
Maybe they are.
And maybe they are. But maybe, I don't want that.
But maybe they are censoring UFOs landing in Seattle.
Right.
Maybe they're maybe yeah.
If they're censoring flat earthers and the Earth just happens to be flat and we didn't know, that'd be a disservice to us.
It would.
Even if it sounds ridiculous, you should just let it. I mean,
you should let it go.
Yeah.
You should let it go.
I don't agree with censorship in any form.
No, you cannot fucking censor any of that stuff. And that's what they're doing. And if I went on the internet today, if I went on Twitter and I said, Daniel Day-Lewis is an alien and he is the mother or overlord and he is in charge of the planet, that sounds fucking stupid. Mm-hmm. But maybe it's true. Mm-hmm. I should be allowed to say that. That is, and we go back to the fucking Constitution, the First Amendment, the right to free speech. I have the right to say that.
Right.
Maybe we need to change that. I don't think so, but maybe we do.
I don't think so. I don't think
you should be allowed to say whatever you want.
I agree.
People have to be smart enough to figure out what the fuck is true.
Yeah. I'm a libertarian, so I'm drifting away from being a libertarian a little bit, but I have a lot of libertarian beliefs. And if you're not hurting someone, then you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, as long as you're not asking people to directly, physically harm someone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that'd be hurting somebody.
Yes.
Like doxing or something like that.
Yeah, that shit's fucked up.
Yeah, of course. I agree wholeheartedly. In fact, if you want to have a racist business that says, like racist shit on the outside, I am fine with that business existing. And I also think that most people should work really hard to put that shit out of business.
For sure. Or if
they should be protesting outside that business every day, and that's their right.
Or if you refuse to make a cake for a gay couple,
right,
that's your choice.
Right.
But fuck you. If you don't want to make a cake for a gay couple, then people should not
bigot.
Then people should not buy your cakes. But
agree.
You know what? You will have a bunch of homophobic people who buy your cakes,
right,
and you'll have a bunch of people that don't. But you should not be dismissed from having a business.
I agree with you 100%, but that is the basis. So, like, in that instance, that business would probably thrive.
They could.
I think they probably will because of their bigotry.
That's a testament to the situation we are.
Yeah. And I agree that that's fucked up.
It is.
And I
it's
also
fucking
agree
ridiculous.
that they should be able to, like, based on a religious belief that they have, not sell a cake to a gay couple. That's a fucked up thing to say because I 100% support gay rights. 100%.
Yes.
I would fight for gay rights.
Yes.
More than anything. But it's their religion, like I support the freedom of religion.
It is. And it's stupid because it's
and
fake.
I would be the first person out there holding a sign saying these fucking assholes don't deserve a business. Don't shop here. And I'd yell at people that go in. But at the same time, it's their right to refuse service.
Sure.
Based on their religious beliefs. I believe that.
It's dumb. And you are allowed to disagree with anything you want to, but to dismiss or cancel or ruin anyone's life because of one specific position, they believe the thing that they believe, and you may not.
Yeah. It's not our job to police people's opinions.
It's not. You get to be Buddhist or Catholic or Christian or atheist or agnostic. You get to choose any of those things. And to require any set of people to follow those ideals is not cool. No one knows what happens. And you know what? My personal opinion is that following the Christian Bible, King James Bible, whatever you want to call it, word for word is fucking ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And if you want to base your business and who you will sell a cake to off of a book that was written 2,000 years ago, that's up to you. There's going to be a lot of people who choose not to support your business. That is their right. There's going to be a lot of people who choose to support your business.
For that reason.
For that reason, that is their right. You're not going to change anybody's opinion.
Right, but the strongest people on that I'm on the right side of history, they truly in their heart believe that what they're doing is for their best interest. Like they're going to teach them that somehow that their religion's wrong and that they should serve to gay couples. And they believe that.
They do, but they're not going to change.
They're not right.
Their opinion.
They're not right. They're not going to change their opinion. You're not going to change someone's religion.
No.
Yeah. I mean, we like to kindly ignore the things that don't jive. You know, like Christianity.
Deep sigh.
I feel sad for Christians because it's like saying I feel sorry for white people because they've been privileged for a long time. Christians have been privileged. They've been in charge. But it's like Christians are under fire right now in the world. Like people see people that are religion, they just think they're dullards. You know, it's like, oh, you believe in this imaginary God? You know, like, oh, he's just a guy up in the sky, and you think that's real? How cute and how stupid you are. Like, these are the things that people build their lives on these.
Sure.
Their whole life is lived for this person, this God that they believe in. And I feel sorry for them that people have such little respect for what they firmly believe in their heart. You know? Like, I feel sorry for them because they're not given, like, they're under fire. They think that, like, the cake thing, for example, like, that's a religious belief. And maybe those people are assholes. I don't know that whole story. They probably are. But if like, they're just devout Christians and they just, in their heart, they feel bad about the decision that and I know this is probably not the story, but let's just, for hypothetical reasons, say this, that they feel sorry that they can't serve that person a cake because of their beliefs or their sexuality is in contrast to their religious beliefs, and they just can't do it. That's sad that we will now railroad those people out of business. That's sad.
I agree.
And people, like, I know a lot of Christian people, and they're not bad people.
They're not. They are...
Maybe old-fashioned.
They're conformed to a set of beliefs that were written in a book. And I don't believe that, but I have no proof that it's not true.
Right. And
So
it's totally their right to believe that. It's just like being that you don't believe there's a God.
Exactly.
Like, you have just as much right to believe there isn't a God and have that staunch belief. And and I think if you were a cake maker and somebody said, I want to have this for my atheist wedding, they should be able to do the same thing.
For sure. I agree.
And if it's an atheist that says, I want you to write on the cake that says, in God, our nuptials will be forever.
Yeah.
And that atheist should be able to be like, no, you're a moron. Get out of here.
Or if you went to a cake maker who was Buddhist and you said, Satan rules 666. And they're like, yeah, I don't really want to do that.
I'm not comfortable with that cake.
Would you fucking ruin their lives?
They would. They would.
That's
the society we live in.
That is the fucking issue.
Right.
Okay, so
And there is half the country that believes that to be just behavior.
Yeah,
That's not right.
No, it's not right at all. You get the choice to spend your money wherever you want to spend it. There is a bike repair shop in downtown Gresham. I took my son's bike there, and when I showed up, there were a bunch of turd-ball kids hanging out outside, smoking cigarettes, doing whatever. Whatever. I used to be that same fucking kid.
Yeah.
Cool. I go inside. I bring the bike in. It's a normal bike. It's a 18-speed mountain bike. Yeah, I bought it from Walmart, whatever. The guy, as I bring it in, says, I can't remember what he called it. He's like, is that a zero bike? And I was like, what? And he's like, God damn it. It would make more sense if I knew the fucking term he used. But basically, when I brought the bike in...
He was talking shit about your bike.
He was talking shit about my bike.
He was talking down to you.
He was saying, this bike is a piece of shit. I don't want to fix it.
Right.
He's a 65-year-old man.
Right.
He can say that to me. He owns a bike shop.
And you can turn around and walk back out and go, I'm not going there
Exactly.
Again. That guy's an asshole.
I chose to leave the bike there and let him fix it. He charged me $15 to fix the bike. It was minor. I will never go back to that bike shop.
Correct.
Because of the way that guy treated me. He didn't make fun of me for being gay. He didn't make fun of me for being Buddhist. He didn't make fun of me for... He talked shit about the bike I bought for my son. I will never go back there again.
Right.
That is my right. That is the right of anybody that goes to any business. If somebody does not provide you a service that you are comfortable with, you go somewhere else.
And it's his foolish right to be that rude to his customers.
For sure.
Yeah.
He never met me before. He didn't know who I was.
Yeah. He's not like busting your balls because you're old friends. He's just being a dick. Exactly. And guess what? He's probably not in business.
He's going to get somebody to bring it in. He's not going to get me. And
yeah, but if you do that enough times, it's like if I was a bar owner, right? Like, I would be throwing people out all the time. All the time. Like, I'm not allowed to talk like that in here. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm never coming back here. Good. Don't ever come back. In fact, tell your friends not to come back too, because you are a fucking moron.
Yeah.
And I don't want your people in here.
Yeah.
Your type of people, whatever they may be.
Yeah.
If they're like you, I don't want them here. So good. Get the fuck out of here. Never come back.
Yep.
That's my right.
Yes.
I would talk like that, and guess what? I'd probably get railroaded out of business.
You're a racist.
Right. Yeah, notice I didn't say anything about the person.
That is the place we're living right now.
I know.
And I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah, I don't like
Every
it
time I see something on the internet,
it's like you can't just be a normal discriminator of like something that's reasonable.
You can't. You can't.
It's like it's always got to be related to something that
exactly.
isn't
as
there.
Soon as you refuse something to someone, the machine finds something like they have a cousin who has Down syndrome, or they have a cousin who's black, or they have a cousin who whatever. Like, there's always something that gets presented upon it, and it's like, can we not just evaluate people for people? Me personally, I don't care who you are, what your sexual orientation is, what you voted for politically. I don't care about any of that stuff. I want to talk to you, Jesse Byron, as a human.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about anything else. And there's so much pre-thought and afterthought on human interaction that happens these days, and everybody wants to latch on to some fucking thing. You know what I mean?
Something that defines them.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be that way. And I think there's a lot of people like me and you that feel that way.
Yeah.
And it's it's the loudest voices.
It's most
that change that and turn it into something else.
And you and I have this conversation like we think it's something that's happening all over everywhere. But is it? I don't think it is. I think it's most people. I think most people are just like us, like we can actually see this for what it is. It's just like your grandma, you say like, oh, she's not going to detect that Fox News said Barack Obama is now great. And now suddenly we're in on that. She would. She would recognize that that's not right and that's not the truth. Like, Barack Obama is obviously the enemy. Like, just because Bill O'Reilly said it this time, like, that didn't change what I've been hearing for the last 5 years. People are smart. Most people are smart. And most people live somewhere in the middle like we do. Those loud voices make us think that this is the universal truths of the world now. And I have more faith in humanity than that.
I want to as well.
But we still only get to vote for one or two people, one or the other, that is representing that radical side. I don't want to vote for Donald Trump. And I don't want to vote for Joe Biden.
No.
Those guys fucking suck. And I don't want to vote for either one.
I don't want to vote, and people may
I would like to vote for a better one.
I don't want... people may take this the wrong way, but I'm a 36-year-old male in America in 2020, I do not want to vote between a 74-year-old man and a 78-year-old man.
Yeah.
I want
How about somebody that represents us?
Somebody, I don't care if you're black, white, Indian,
Gay,
male, female, trans, I don't give a fuck. If you are somewhere in between, what is it, 35?
36 is
36?
the president.
36 and like
50.
60. Even 60.
Yeah.
Like somewhere. Here we go back to my grandma. My grandma is 81 years old.
Yeah. How many great opinions has she said about like the way the world's working these days?
My grandma is an amazing woman, and I love her to death.
Yeah.
She cannot run this country.
No.
She's 81 years old. Joe Biden is 78. He cannot run this country.
I agree.
Donald Trump is 74. He cannot run this country. There is a point.
And every person in Congress is 78, and they can't run our country. And yet they do. There's a benefit to being older and wise, and you have learned more things and acquired more skills, and you've become more knowledgeable with life. But there's also a point where you reach dementia. Yeah, or close to it.
Yeah. And we need someone who is in the approximately 45 to 50 years old range.
That's what made Barry great. He was like so refreshing, you know, Barack. It's like, hey, he's got a sound mind. That's all we ask for, is that you have a fucking sound mind. It's not saying much.
He was
basically everyone can do that.
He was also,
and I'm not saying that I agree politically with anything Barack Obama did, but at least he wasn't a fucking embarrassment, and at least he doesn't have dementia.
No, he was respectable.
Yeah.
Internationally.
Mm-hmm.
And he could have a regular conversation with people, and he could digest ideas. He wasn't embarrassing.
Both our options are embarrassing.
I've talked about this before with other people. No one is for Biden.
They're against Trump.
They're against Trump.
Right. That's just an absolutely gross way to vote, by the way. And I absolutely say, if you are interested in voting for a third party, just fucking do it. Unless you live in Pennsylvania, you know, like,
or Ohio,
or one of these battleground states, just vote for whoever you think's best.
You know who I voted for in 2016?
Who's that?
Bernie Sanders. Right in. It doesn't matter in Oregon.
No.
Biden will get it.
Yeah.
Hillary got it in 2016.
Yeah.
It doesn't,
by a landslide, by the way.
It doesn't matter. And that is, I've heard people argue for the electoral college. I'm personally against it. Maybe I had this discussion with you.
We had this on the way to rafting.
Yeah.
I think it's a brilliant system that helps to represent people that don't have a voice, that live in the coastal cities.
But it also turns states into a number. Like, why not? And I don't want to get confrontational with you. Mm-hmm. I really want to hear your opinion.
I'll fight you. It's fine.
We'll go fisticuffs on the back porch. Why?
You've never been in a fight. I think I could take you.
I've never been in a fight. Maybe tonight's the night.
No, tonight's the night.
Let's bring it, makers.
We'll see what you say.
With the knuckle crunch. What? I don't know. What is the benefit of the popular vote versus the electoral college? What?
So the failing of the popular vote, in my opinion, and I'm not a person that's a political science major, but my opinion is the problem with that is the population centers live in very small sections of our country, right?
Okay.
So you got New York City, you got LA, you got San Francisco, you have these clusters, Pennsylvania, the East Coast, and the center. You know, the population center of the United States lives on the coasts, right?
Sure.
So But that's not the only part of the United States. Like if the United States was only those coastal states, then yeah, they would be great. Popular vote would make some sense. But what people are voting for is they're voting based upon let me start over. So when you have these densely populated areas making the decisions for places that aren't densely populated, they will vote for things that benefit densely populated areas.
Sure.
So, for example, like mass transit. How much benefit does Joe Snuffy in Kansas benefit from mass transit?
Yes, I see.
How much
I
does
see what
a
you're saying.
hospital
I see
in
what
a
you're
town
saying.
of 400 benefit them?
I see what you're saying for that, but strictly for the presidential election, how is one vote per person not representative for the outcome of the election? Because all those people in rural areas who want to vote conservative and go for Trump or Romney or whoever, how is that not representative of their one vote still counts for that one candidate? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like for the presidential election, I agree with you 100% for a statewide.
Well, I'll give you the reason is because it's not because Mitt Romney or Donald Trump or Joe Biden being elected. It's the impact of that. Okay. So like when you elect a guy like Barack Obama and he wants to have socialized medicine, or Bernie Sanders, like Bernie Sanders is the perfect example. Like Bernie Sanders would change a lot of things in this country to assist the people that live in those coastal cities. Mm-hmm. And so if you make a lot of the things that he wants to happen, like the universal health care or free education and stuff like that, like tell me how John Smith, who lives in Nebraska, benefits from there being free university in Miami.
Sure.
Like they can't get those benefits, but they still have to pay the tax to pay for those things. They have to pay for things that they will never, ever get to use. Mm-hmm. And if they have to drive 680 miles to go to a hospital to get stitches, are they going to do it? Mm-hmm. Would you? Like I guess if you had to get stitches, you'd have to do it.
You'd have to do it, yeah.
But are now we going to give them a stipend to pay for their mileage to go there because they're outside the service area of the hospital? Like that's what would be fair.
Okay, so...
And are we going to pay them for their time away from their farm to go do that?
So what is the right solution?
Now you're getting into it. I don't know. But going away from something takes there being a good solution for everyone, right? So the system now, as it is, it's not perfect. It's not even good, necessarily. The Electoral College doesn't represent a lot of our people. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be changed for something that's better for the majority. Like, or for the people, like, that's the trouble. Like, if you could make it so those people in the coastal cities can benefit from that stuff, and then those people don't have to pay, that's how you fix it. Mm-hmm. You let those flyover states keep their money.
Okay.
So if you live this far outside of a city, then you don't have to pay for mass transit, universal health care, universal education, and they get to just keep their money. They're not getting taxed at the same rate.
I wonder if we abolished the federal government and allowed states.
I'd love it. I would love that.
It sounds good, although...
That's how it was drafted, by the way. That's how those 20-year-olds did it.
You would have an influx of statewide immigrants moving to whatever state. Like... California, there would be a mass exodus.
Out of California.
Mm-hmm. To, I don't even know, but like...
It'd be a beautiful system. It's the way it was designed.
It could be cool.
Because big government likes to paint with a broad brush. Mm-hmm. They like to make things that apply to everyone. And we have 300 million people in this country, and a lot of them don't believe the same thing as the other ones.
No.
And federal laws in general, by the way, are not good for people. Laws are designed to create order, but we have way too many fucking laws. Way too many fucking laws.
You need some laws.
You need some laws. I'm not saying get rid of laws. I'm saying get rid of 80% of laws. Anything that doesn't have to do with someone preying on another person, both financially or physically or in any other kind of way, like violent or financial. But the laws that we have focus on, we've gotten away from the like why we created the law. Like, say for example, you pull up to a red light and you roll through it, taking a right on a red, and you get pulled over and you get a $618 ticket. Like, why does that law exist?
State revenue.
No, why does that law exist? To keep you safe, right? So you don't blow through red lights.
No, because they want money for the state.
I do believe that going through a red light is a law that was created for safety. Because if people just ran red lights, that would be unsafe, right?
True.
But they use that rolling through that right turn red light to just grab revenue from you. That's a law that shouldn't exist. You know,
well,
or at least you could say
it should exist, but there should be a much smaller amount that is collected from you for disobeying it.
I don't agree. I think there should be no amount taken from you, because a judge should see that and be like, that's fucking stupid. Get out of here, you stupid cop.
Okay, but
you wrote a ticket for a guy rolling through a stoplight. I have it on camera. Like, why is the county mailing you a ticket for that?
Well, that's the argument for, as far as I know, if you exceed 100 miles an hour, you can get your license taken away.
Right. Why?
Okay. Because you go to Europe, you go to Germany.
Yeah, it's not even unsafe. It's not even unsafe in your car. Your Honda can go 100 miles an hour so safely, perfectly fine, down a straight freeway.
It's only safe because people obey the rules of the road. I went to Germany in 2018, and everyone drives in the right lane.
Right.
Unless they're going to fucking pass somebody.
Because you're responsible for your own safety. Because you'll get fucking hammered by somebody going 120 in a Porsche. So you get over in the right.
Yeah.
That's society. That's the society that we want to live in.
That's the thing, though, is that there are benefits to living in this country in terms of monetary gain or starting a business, or it usually involves money. You can come to America and be nothing and become Jeff Bezos. You can live in Germany and drive a car as fast as you want, but
you crash and kill somebody, you're going to get the consequences.
Well, what I was going to say is, in Germany, you cannot be a millionaire or a billionaire. You are taxed at 40%.
Right.
Regardless, because they have social safety nets for everyone that require all citizens to participate in. So
they have very, very low unemployment also, and they don't have welfare.
My sister's husband,
they don't incentivize slothitude like we do.
He is a natural German citizen. And if I ever get him over here, I will sit down with him and ask him all these questions, because it's fascinating to see.
Germany's an interesting country.
They have it figured out in a lot of ways. It allows the entire system to be taken care of, but it doesn't allow for insane greed and financial gain. Like, there are no Elon Musks in Germany. You cannot do that there. You have to come to America. And so that is the argument for America, is that you can become the greatest person you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
But
capitalism.
there are also maybe not millions, probably millions of people sleeping in tents on the fucking sidewalk.
Yeah,
That doesn't happen in Germany. People are taken care of.
Yeah.
Everyone has health care. Everyone, to a certain extent, has a home. It's a difference in opinion of how you run a society.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it to speak educated on that issue, but that sounds good. Right? I mean, that's good,
That's
right?
the goal, is like, we have done a lot of right things for a long time. We have recently done a lot of wrong things. And the system benefits the people who have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it always has.
In this country
specifically.
It severely destroys the people who do not have. The have and have-nots.
This country also rewards people who want.
Ambition. That is the conservative platform, is that you either have ambition and you are attempting to better yourself. That's the fucking myth, man, is that you are here. You're a
that you're held down by our system.
I can't remember the fucking term. It's a great term. But you are here. You're just not. You're an eventual millionaire. You're here right now. You will be there if you try hard enough. But there's a lot of people that cannot try hard enough. You cannot get there. I can never be there without sacrificing an insane amount of my personality and without acquiring wealth from family members,
inheritance
or whatever. I cannot reach that point.
Why not?
Because it's not in the system. I am not supposed to get there. Do you think I can get there?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm positive.
Okay.
You could.
I'm not going to disagree with it.
Yeah, I think you could. Here's the deal though. You got kids. They're gonna drag you down like an anchor. You're gonna have to work so fucking hard. You're gonna have to do things that are extremely uncomfortable. Like, you can get there. If you went and got a grant, like, or a scholarship or whatever, even just loans, you could get grants, you could get scholarships, you could get loans. You could go to dental school today. Like, you could go and apply and go and become a dentist.
True.
Today.
Can everyone get
You're
there?
smart enough. You could.
Can 300 million people reach millionaire status?
Probably not everyone, because probably not everyone's smart enough to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably there are enough people with low enough intelligence to where they couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And drive is the number one thing. Like, you don't aspire to be a millionaire because that's not in your value system. You don't care to be a millionaire. Like, I don't either.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm a millionaire when I'm 70, like, I don't care about that. The money doesn't mean that. I think I probably will be, actually. But it's not something that I like. It's something that I've always fought for. Mm-hmm. I'm just a hard worker.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to better myself, which is why I'm going through this fucking suffering that I'm going through right now. It sucks. But I just have some part of my body that just keeps telling me, don't settle for what you're dealing with right now. Go get more. Go do it. And I don't know where that comes from, because it's not money. It's
ambition.
It's ambition. It's self-worth. It's whatever. Like, the previous job that I had was not as good as the one I'm going to get. Same as the one that I'm about to get now is not as good as the one I'm going to have after that. Mm-hmm. That's going to lead me to that money, which I don't even care if I get. It's just, there's something in my spirit that pushes me to be ambitious and to be driven. And some people have that, some people don't. And if they had that thing that I have, which is poisonous to my, like, I'll probably have a heart attack when I'm like 62, but it's not something that's like making me happier, but it is something that's driving me.
Yeah.
So I think you could have it too. You could go and you could get an education that could lead you to being a millionaire. If you became a dentist at 30, like you'd be like what, 46 by the time you got out of school, something like
23.
that. What? You're 23 now. Yeah. So you could be.
Yeah.
So in 7 years, you're 36. So, by the time you're 45, you could be graduated from dental school with some debt, some pretty significant debt.
Yeah.
But you could overcome it by living a modest life, and you could be there. You got more than half your work years left.
That's
And if you're willing to work Fridays and Saturdays and all these stupid things that I'm not saying you should, by the way. It would be really stupid of you to do that.
No, see,
because
that's...
if you're living a fine life now. You're not in poverty whatsoever.
That is the argument, though, right? Like that, I think that's
You shouldn't chase $1 million.
That is what makes you and I different from Bezos or Elon or Gates or whoever. Like you and I don't want to speak for you, but I will speak for you right now.
Okay.
You and I, we want some sort of financial freedom, which basically means you don't have to worry about how much money you have. It doesn't mean you're a millionaire or a billionaire. You just don't want to have to worry about shit anymore. You want to own a car. You want to own a house. You want to go to the grocery store and not look at your bank account.
Right.
That is a different measure of success than owning a company and making millions of dollars.
I'll tell you this, Cody. I have done a lot less financially stupid things than most people. That's why I will have the success that I have, like financially. Mm-hmm. I don't squander money on dumb things.
Yeah.
I'm a cheapskate. Like, that's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
There's something inside of me that, like, I got from, like, my Depression era grandparents that just, like, they instilled in me that I always live for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You look at my couch right now, it looks like something that's in like a frat house. It's not nice. But guess what? I'm like financially independent, and I'm going like I have a great job, and I left my great job for an even better job, and I'm gonna leave that job for an even better job after that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's not because I want to have all this stuff necessarily. It's just there's just something inside me that just says go get it. Mm-hmm. It's there for the taking. That's what America is, man. And I'm just taking advantage of like that opportunity. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that if I was born in like West Philadelphia, born and raised, right? I don't know that I'd have that same opportunity if I was there. Like if I was born a poor black kid in the projects, I don't know that I'd have that.
You wouldn't.
I don't know. Maybe. There's a lot of programs.
I hear what you're saying.
But institutionally, we as a country don't do a very good job educating people on what they can get and what they can't get.
Yeah.
Like that person has been taught for a lot of their life that society is going to get them, mm-hmm. and this is the only way. The hustle is the only way to survive, or whatever. Like maybe their dad isn't there, or maybe their mom isn't there. And that's the person that's supposed to teach him this stuff. Or maybe the public school system is failing them. But I have 100% faith that that kid born in West Philadelphia could be a millionaire without question. I have no doubt. If they're smart enough, like, to make good decisions, and they're not, like, developmentally disabled, mm-hmm. which, by the way, I am.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm still going to do it. So if they don't have like a debilitating learning disability that prevents them from acquiring the knowledge necessary, I have 100% faith that under any circumstances, with the exception of like super abuse or something like that, that's going to change you mentally. Mm-hmm. But if you have a stable upbringing that's like not gonna traumatize you mentally. And maybe growing up in West Philadelphia is that. Like maybe that is. I don't understand that lifestyle. Mm-hmm. But that person's capable of it. You know how I know? Because it happens every day.
Because Will Smith.
Yeah. I mean, basically everything I learned
DJ
about...
Jazzy Jeff.
Basically everything I learned about black people was from the Fresh Prince and named Living Color, so... That's why I got punched several times when I was in the army, because I thought I understood a little bit about stuff.
All right, my friend. Well, we're at at least 3.5.
Good.
So let's cheers it.
Should we cheers to Fresh Prince?
Yeah.
All right, to Fresh Prince.
Yeah. All right, man.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.